The crap you can unwrap, all the slime, all the time.
Dear penis, I don't think I like you anymore. You used to watch me shave. Now all you do is stare at the floor. Oh, dear penis, I don't like you anymore. It used to be you and me, a paper towel and a dirty magazine. That's all we needed to get by. Now it seems things have changed, and I think that you're the one to blame, dear penis. I don't like you anymore. He sings, dear Rodney, I don't think I like you anymore. 'Cause when you get to drinking, you put me places I've never been before, dear Rodney. I don't like you anymore. Why can't we just get a grip on our man-to-hand relationship? Come to terms with truly how we feel. If we put our heads together, we just stay home forever, dear penis. I think I like you after all. Oh, and Rodney, while you're shaving, shave my balls. All
right. 10:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Wednesday to you. Boy, this is it, man. Tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow we got that trend coming out. The Pharrell trend. At 1 o'clock. So that'll kill the show tomorrow. And Dove came in and told me a plethora of stuff while you were out diddling around with Joe this morning.
Really?
Number one being that you're full of crap, that Joe Rose hasn't had that big dollar and cent discussion with Greg Reed yet. Now, did Joe tell you otherwise? And don't play that sounder again. Let's play it out here. I mean, you're the one that's the yenta. Let's find out about this. Let's find out who's telling tall tales.
I don't know.
You said Joe Rose asked for too much money.
But did I say I got that from him?
No.
Did I ever say that I was quoting him on that?
Now you're pulling a mo. It's like, where do you get your information? Just give me a direct answer and quit beating around the bush.
He never told me that.
Okay, so I think you're full of crap. I don't think they've had that discussion yet. Whatever the amount is, he'll get it. You listening, Joe? Whatever amount you hold him up for, you'll get it. I think the stumbling block there is at Channel 6. I think that they're not too keen on that whole deal. And you know what I say to them? Screw them. I mean, Joe is just smoking in there between 8 and 10. He's got some gigantic sloppy shoes to fill there with all that, the big rack and the big D and the big D and the big rack and 34C. He's got a big gap to fill there, but, Joe's been around a long time. And the sports nerds love Joe Rose. The only thing, that you have to be concerned is that some of the non-sports nerds, they may not be into that heavy-duty sports stuff every day, like that Fish guy that called again today, at the end of the show. But nevertheless, we love Joe Rose big time, especially because he hates Smo.
Absolutely.
A lot. Although we could say that about anybody. See, that no longer is a qualification for being on QAM.
Anybody? How about everybody?
For getting our because everybody, even the janitor hates Mo. Rick? So that doesn't set you above the pack. Anyway, we got a lot of schedule changes for those who are keeping score at home. Let's see, we didn't have any Mo this morning. I thought it was just me. I thought I came in at just a propitious moment to miss his stentorian tones, but come to find out he was screwing off again today, another day off.
Zach says, by the way, don't be confused, he loves Mo. He just stuck his head in.
Not what he told me.
He just stuck his head in and said,
not what he told me. He said he hates him like poison and wishes he would die a wicked death, is what he told me. Oh, look at this. I was just joking about this before. Oh, let's send Scott Jr. out with Mark Eisenberg. Come on. Let him do something productive to make up for his aberrant behavior yesterday.
No,
Mark
he says, Miguel's here saying that's the reason why we sent Mark by himself, so we don't have to deal with Scott Jr.
So in other words, he might actually get there on time and Scott won't give him the bum directions. Mark Eisenberg is going his toy drive. This is excellent. Going his toy drive sounds like it was written by an illegal alien, Miguel. Today from 11 to 1 at the Sears parking lot at the Town Center Mall in Boca. Also has the best of Neil with him, too. Kind of like an afterthought. In other words, you probably don't want our crap, but just in case, he'll have that stuff on him, too. The CD and the Mo Howard David keychain.
Take off those checkered pants.
Stuff like that. But bring your toys. See, they would probably be a little bit better off if they would tell more. about the toy drive and these promos. I'd be more than delighted to cooperate, but, I mean, just as his toy drive, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll write you the $3 million.
Yeah, give me a little something more. I mean, see, unless there's a sponsor involved in it, the sales department's got you so brainwashed and manipulated that unless there's a sponsor shilling to get free promos, you don't give me any information. So we could probably do him a little bit better if you tell us exactly what they're supposed to bring and where they stick it and things like that. Tell us where to stick it.
Who are the toys going to, by the way?
I beg your pardon?
Who are the toys going to?
Oh, Joe and Mark. Well, times are tough, you know. They're really not making too much cash. I don't know who they're going to. That's a very good question. Now that you mention it, it's probably a scam.
Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital, says Miguel.
Oh, I can't stand Joe DiMaggio, man. I hated him. I mean, he's a great ball player, but he was a miserable prick. He was a bastard. So, like I said, Miguel, don't give us too much information. Anyway, Boog is going to be on for the Mad Dog today and tomorrow. No, wait a minute, today and then Boog and Bo. How about Boog, Bo, and what do you say, huh?
And Mo.
Boog, Bo, O, and Mo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sounds like the QM law firm. But we do have the load will be on at 4 this afternoon, the humper. The load, Hank will be at Shula's. Ira Winderman, 4 to 5 today. Ira, by the way, Ira's a good guy, but he's got the worst squeaky voice. He almost sounds like Gilbert.
Yes.
Do you ever hear him on the air?
Yes.
Sounds like a little boy. You're a good guy, Ira. We like you a lot, but man, you are really terrible on the air. Don't quit your newspaper job. Panther preview at 7. We got a big game, man. There is going to be a crowd there tonight.
About 30, man.
And speaking of hockey, how about those make-believes, huh? I think I screwed up on that. I was going to tape the highlight there, and I think I screwed up. Just the ass end of that first goal. Where the hell are you, Joe? Where's Joe Bowen? Hey, Joe. That's enough, Joe. That's enough hockey. That's more than enough for one day, believe me, in this town. Leafs in their last 12 games out of a possible 24 points have 23 points. Are you impressed by that? You ought to be. Loser.
Sure.
Ought to be really impressed with that. They're smoking, man. They're tied for first place in the league with Philadelphia, 44 points. I don't know why. I don't know how. Just out of nowhere. I guess Pat Quinn was on the verge of getting fired. He said, you guys better butch it up a little bit. I'm going to get my fat ass canned. They said, okay, boss. Whatever you say. So we got Boogster and Bo, and then Curtis Stevenson on Friday in that 2 to 4 slot. Sandwiched in between the load and the toad. Here's a great letter to the Toronto Star yesterday. And by the way, you know, I'm recovering nicely in spite of the fact that everybody says I'm a doddering old man. You notice what a good job I'm doing recovering from this cold that I almost got?
Without a doubt.
I did get it, but, and that's a good sign. That's a really good sign that my immune system must be sensational. Even for a diabetic old fart like me. Because it's been pretty goddamn cold lately, but I'm used to it. I had the first several years of my life.
About 30, man.
In this crap, and, it's 34 right now. That's not too bad. Cloudy 34, right? You can handle that. But I had like the first, inklings of it on Monday morning. Was it Monday? Yeah, I think I had it on Monday. And you get that thing with a little scratch in your throat, and then you figure you're going to lose your voice for 2 or 3 days. And then I'm starting seeing sugar plums dancing in my head like, hey, I'm going to be, the only problem being George is on vacation this week. And since it's the end of the year, there's no working room there. You know what I'm saying? In other words, I can't afford it. Of course, then we'd have had to put the Beast on to do the show, and that would have been really just a nightmare.
Yes.
With you alone. Although I noticed that your buddy Joe is, he's promoing you now. It's the Neil and Beast show.
Yeah, but he won't let me talk on his show, so.
Well, he's smarter than I am. In addition to which, he didn't have to let you talk because he's got just non-stop those sports callers. I got to admit to you, as much as I just revile sports talk, I got to tell you, I am jealous. Because I think back to all of those days that I've been on the air. How many years in this town?
About 30, man.
And the days that I sat and begged for calls, no matter all the great material I had and the interesting things I had to talk about and the stuff that was going on, and just begged and pleaded for calls and just couldn't buy a call for $50. And the sports nerds, we could put Mose Muskrat on the air and get the phones to ring off the hook. Hey, what do you think about those Dolphins? Can they bounce back on Sunday? You know, that crap. It just never stops. Just the same neurotic, endless garbage. And now the new thing I heard Joe talking about with the juking and jiving in the end zone, you know, at these celebrations.
Yeah, the cell phone thing.
The cell phone thing, which they showed many, many times.
About 30, man.
And it just makes me sick to my stomach. You know what I mean? What a bunch of jive-ass turkeys. And then the one Schwarzer calls in and tries to make it into a racial thing. And somebody very accurately pointed out that it was Mark Gastineau was the first guy that they got fined for that. Who happened to be about as white as you are. White and pasty. And reviled also by everybody. like Mo. Remember Mark Gastineau?
Yep.
There you go. Mark Gastineau. He looked white to me, but everything's always a racial thing, you know. Just like the networks, I guess there's nothing else going on. You got 13 more dead people in Baghdad. 13 died, 22 wounded as truck bomb explodes in Baghdad. We'll get to that. But this is the important stuff, is some jive-ass asshole in the end zone is pulling a cell phone out from underneath the goalpost, and is the Michael Jackson thing a racial thing? Right, everything's a racial thing.
What color is he?
Great letter in the Toronto Star yesterday. You'll love this. Letter to the editor. It says, he threatened the peace and security of the whole world with wanton proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. An unelected despot, he ruthlessly exploited his people for the enrichment of a tiny elite that prominently included his own family and friends. He illegally invaded a sovereign country for the sole purpose of grabbing its oil reserves. I look forward to him being subjected to international law for his crimes against humanity, and when we're done with George W. Bush, let's do the same to Saddam Hussein. Wrote John Bell in Toronto. Nice going, John. You go, boy. Oh! Excellent. Great letter, huh? When we're done with W, let's do the same to Saddam Hussein. Bring him to justice. Ain't gonna happen, though. The polls, his popularity went zooming up 6 points, 52 to 58%, which goes to show how easy the American public is, man. They're a bunch of morons. Morons. There's a few smart people in America, I would say.
About 30, man.
Yeah, we haven't found them yet. And none of them are running for president, by the way. 1,030 some odd votes on yesterday's poll. Pretty impressive. I thought that was a poll that most of our audience wouldn't like, because most of them aren't sports nerds, but they liked it. Liked it well enough. And Duff informs me that the ratings, I thought it was today was the last day of this rating period. Well, I was wrong. Last Wednesday, the 10th, was the end of the fall rating book. So we're just in limbo. We can do whatever the hell we want. Don't you like that? We can do whatever the hell we want. Want to play 4 hours of comedy bits? Duff said, go for it. No problem. Whatever the hell you want. Just slide your way through. Even more so than usual is what he said. I don't know what he meant by that. We asked yesterday which athlete was the biggest scumbag to ever play for a South Florida team. We got over 1,000 votes, and we'll give you the results. I know it's breathtaking momentarily. And today's new pool. And then we got our 1 to 2 comedy bits hour, and I'm thinking that we ought to expand that a little bit because it is the holiday season, right? A lot of good stuff that we need to play. Like that first bit, that Bob and Tom bit, Letter to My Penis. Haven't heard that in a coon's age. 10:13 at 560 WQAM. I want to tell all you fat people out there, nothing personal, Beast. All you fat people, you know this, that it's so difficult to stay on the Atkins or any other low-carb diet because even as, it sounds great in the beginning, meat and cheese and seafood and butter and eggs. But how much meat and seafood and butter and eggs can you eat when you come right down to it? It gets really monotonous. That's why people need some variety, something with some taste, something with some sweetness to it. And that's why Delights of West Boca is so popular, because everybody and their brother's on a low-carb diet right now, and this store is dedicated entirely to them. They've got over 1,000 low-carb products in this one fantastic store, including breads and bagels, muffins, cheesecakes, brownies, chocolates, pasta and sauces, chips and dips, soups, ketchups, that exciting Carbolite ice cream, and lots of new stuff coming in every week, like Jeff's chocolate and vanilla egg creams, the At Last chocolate crisp and chocolate mint bars, which, thank God, have no maltitol. You'll be real pleased about that. Simply low-carb bread with stevia. La Nuba jams in 7 gourmet flavors for you to jam on it. Klim's, Carb Slim Bites. Great snack with no laxative effect. I noticed a lot of these, no laxative effect. Thank the Lord for that. Don't, if you got a little sensitive stomach, say, I'll pass on those Atkins bars. They've got crunchy pretzels by Carb Sense, apple cinnamon granola by Carb Sense, and lots more. Like I said, over 1,000 low-carb products in this one great store. Delights of West Boca. You can try anything in the store before you buy it. The Atkins products are on sale today, tomorrow, and every day of your life. It's open 7 days a week from 10 to 10. They're on the northeast corner of Glades and 441, right next to Boston Market, or call them toll-free at 1-877-LOW-CARB, LOWCARB, or on the web it's lowcarb.com. For all you fat folks out there, a store you'll love, Delights of West Boca. It's your official Atkins retail center.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
You're a bastard.
Then Hell on Earth postponed their concert and live suicide for 1 week. Only problem is they forgot to tell the man who was to commit suicide. Here's what happened in the dressing room before the show.
Hey, Jimmy, why so down?
I'm going to commit suicide tonight.
No, not tonight.
What do you mean, not tonight?
We pushed it back a week.
Why am I always the last to know?
We called you on your cell.
I turned that thing off. I don't need my cell phone anymore.
Why'd you turn your cell phone off?
What do you mean? I turned everything off. I turned all my utilities off.
Why?
Why? I'm gonna commit suicide!
Not this week.
Oh.
We can't get the permits. We gotta go another week.
I gave up my apartment.
You'll be fine. You can stay in the bus.
Oh, damn, that reminds me. I gave Stewie my car.
Who's Stewie?
Stewie, you know, the guy that's gonna replace me in the band.
You're not in the band. We keep telling you that.
I am in the band.
You're in the band for one night! One night!
Stop yelling, huh? Without me, you wouldn't have any news.
Hey, we got a band. We're very popular.
Yeah, you haven't been popular until I said I was going to commit suicide. And you want to know something?
All right. Calm down a little bit.
I'm feeling better.
No, don't relax.
I'm beginning to feel better. I think this whole thing's clearing up.
I want you to relax.
Listen.
Yeah, your breathing sounds much better. I want you to relax. Don't have a heart attack. We need you one more week.
Yeah, don't die now, Jimmy. We need you to die tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. We push it back a week. I'll see you in a week.
Oh, man, I already called my mother.
Well, call her back. Take her out to dinner.
I can't call her back. She was crying.
What am I supposed to do? I mean, why are you dumping this on me?
I have to die tonight.
No, you don't.
I won't.
No, you got another week.
Oh, this sucks, I'll tell you what. This really blows.
You got a whole other week of life. This is great.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
Oh, gee.
What?
I told my girlfriend she could boink Scotty.
Well, so what?
I gotta go.
10:19 at 560 WQAM. 1,062 votes on a poll from yesterday. What athlete was the biggest scumbag to ever play for a South Florida team? Jose Canseco, 235. They hate you, Jose. And by the way, put the piece away. Is he still under house arrest or what? I guess not.
I don't
know. He might still be. Lawrence Phillips, 173. He was in town for just a few days.
About 30, man.
And did plenty of damage. Professional scumbag will never ever change. You can take this, what's that saying going? You can take the boy out of the, dumpster, but you can't take the scum out of the scumbag. That's Lawrence Phillips. Cecil Collins, he just wanted to dip his wick. He's got 169. Nice going load. Brian Cox, 125. Ray Lewis, 97. See, I don't remember Ray Lewis.
How do you not remember
That's
Ray
embarrassing.
Lewis?
Huh?
How do you not remember
Is that Ray Lewis that plays for Baltimore?
Yes.
Oh, that Ray Lewis. Excuse me. I don't pay any attention to the Ravens. They're like boring, and then every now and then they score like 44 points. What?
It was big news when that whole Super Bowl Atlanta thing happened.
Well, I must have. Oh, that's right. Now it all of a sudden comes flying back. Michael Irvin, 45. He should have done much better than that. Warren Sapp, 37. Big fat tub of crap. Warren Sapp. Brian Blades, 36. Hey, Brian, run fast, jump high. They're coming to get you. Pudge Rodriguez, 29. I heard some calls about that this morning. You talk about a guy who really just turned everybody against him in a town where he had all of that goodwill. Even the Jews were crossing themselves after they won the World Series, with Pudge having the big playoffs in the series. Even the atheists were crossing themselves to emulate Pudge.
Well, you missed Goldie saying this morning that he had a personal meeting with Pudge yesterday.
He had a personal meet with Pudge?
Yeah. So
and
Goldie got the inside scoop, got everything, got all the details.
The inside poop?
Yeah.
And what was it?
That he's going to go to Baltimore because he wouldn't take a pay cut.
You know something, Geldy? You are one of the biggest ass lickers. In fact, I think it's an act of justice. It's probably an act of God that Geldy's on there, stuck on there with a man he hates like poison, the mole man. I think God is punishing Geldy for being such a twerp, such a little asswipe, like you do for that hockey organization. No matter what they do, you're always sucking up because you want Jugs McDonald's job. That's number one. And number two, because they got your ugly puss on that screen on there in between periods, screeching like a little girl, screeching and just carrying on like a maniac. Pudge Rodriguez, shame on you, man. $7 million a year plus the $3 million deferred from the first year, which means the next 3 years, an aging guy who's not going to get any younger, $10 million a year to play baseball, $10 million a year. Oh, that's not good enough for me. Well, screw you, man. Okay. You just send Pudge packing.
Hey, that's a good-looking guy.
He is a good-looking guy. Well, at least he used to be. He's getting a little long in the tooth. You know who he reminds me of? Well, you don't remember A.J. Dewey, do you?
No.
And Joe Klecko from the Jets? They all had that kind of like baby-face look, Anyway, Pudge Rodriguez, but he did have a gigantic ass, and believe me, I'm not into big ass. Oh, man. He might have had the biggest ass other than Cecil Fielder. Mickey Lolich. Huh?
How about Mo Vaughn?
Mo Vaughn. That'd be a good poll. Which of these people had the biggest ass? I know somebody who's all ass.
Absolutely. I could be on there.
The Beast Guy. No, you're not in that category. You're just not, no. I would guarantee you Cecil Fielder's ass weighed at least 80 pounds. Just the ass. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
And Mickey Lolich, that's before your time. Mickey had a gigantic ass. Pudge Rodriguez, 29. You're an ass, Pudge. All ass. They hate you like poison. They've turned on you, man, real fast, and I sure as hell don't blame them. I'm with them. Sammy Smith, 24. Don't fumble it again, Sammy. I remember that Packers game very vividly when he fumbled the ball into the end zone. I can't remember whether the Dolphins actually came back and won that game or not, but he was always, not just that he fumbled a lot, but always at the worst possible time. He was trying to snort the goal line. Najee Davenport, 13. Mercury Morris, former QAM superstar, had 11. Now, was he on QAM before Greg Reed and this bunch of bandits took the station over or after? I'm not really sure.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
He was on a weekend for a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden they decided, probably not a good idea, Merc, okay?
I think it was still the Kosher Cowboys.
The Kosher Cowboys. What a couple of bastards they were. You know, my friend Bill Calder, the late great Bill Calder, used to work for them in the mornings. And Bill was dying of cancer, and they didn't have the courtesy to have a meeting or even call him on the phone. They sent a courier with a message to his house, thank you for your efforts and please don't come back. You know, something like that. Guy's dying of cancer. The two scumbag Jews that used to own a place, and we thought they were bad, and then of course the Beasleys came in. The freaking Beasleys. They're still sitting up in that tree with that kid from Aintree. Benny Blades had 10. Levon had 8. Mark Fitzpatrick, 8. I'm surprised that 8 people remember Mark Fitzpatrick, who was in the shadow of the Beezer. The Beezer made today's poll, by the way, which you'll be amazed. Demetrius Underwood, 8. Pete Stoyanovich, 6. Al Martin, 5. Now, I definitely know. I know Al Martino, but I don't know Al Martin. Who the hell was Al Martin?
Yeah,
you
just
know?
a sub-scrub.
With who?
Impact player.
He played with
for
who?
The Marlins for a little bit, yeah.
Oh, he played for... Oh, that's right. I'm looking for something. Where the hell is it? For Al Martino. I can't find... Instead of that, I'll just play this.
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders.
Lamar Thomas spelled wrong. We apologize for that. 5. Gene Atkins, 4. Tony Martin, 4. I can't believe Tony got any because everybody likes Tony Martin. I couldn't remember his name. I apologize, Tony. Good guy. Little money laundering problem. Ramon Castro, 4. Mark Duper, 3, who was honored at halftime of the game the other night. Mark Duper, Mark Clayton. Danny Boy was out there with those funky lips. Bobby Humphreys, a pair. Cleveland Gary, 1. And Jamie German, which the Beast came up with that, and he got the big nothing. Zippity-doo-dah. So evidently not a really stellar choice. The audience was less than impressed, less than blown away with your choice. Anyway, here's a little more that Miguel finally faxed in. Mark Eisenberg is doing his toy drive today, 11 to 1 at the Sears parking lot at the Town Center Mall in Boca. It's the Joe and Mark's second annual toy drive benefiting the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, looking for new and unwrapped toys. Now, Joe DiMaggio was an asshole, but don't blame little kids for that. They had nothing to do with that, so don't make them pay for the fact that we hate Joe DiMaggio like poison, okay? Although a lot of people are jealous because he was banging Marilyn Monroe. Or at least so it was alleged. What was wrong with her? I mean, did she have like a bad eyesight or something? Or was she just a money grabber? She didn't need their money. She had plenty of money of her own. She married the ugliest people. Jesus, God. Who was the other? Arthur Miller. The author, the playwright, Arthur Miller. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. She married these ugly old men. And this Thursday night, Joe and Mark will be doing their show live from Cafe Iguana for people to bring them toys. And they'll be there just like last year till 7 o'clock Friday night, sitting around waiting desperately for you to come by and help them out. 1027 at 560 WQM. Shelley Bloom's Fashion Clothiers, they've been waiting on you for a long time. If you haven't been in there yet, they've been waiting 40 years to see your puss. That's right. 40 years in the same great location, 2650 Northwest 5th Avenue in the Miami Fashion District. At Shelley Bloom's, you'll find fine men's clothing. They got it all. They got suits and sport coats, slacks, dress and sport shirts, ties. One of the biggest selection of designer shoes anywheres in town. Shelley's got beautiful Italian slack Super 120s in 15 different colors for only $60. He does not, by the way, carry checkered pants. Giorgio Armani suits that sell from $1,395 to $1,595 are only $795 at Shelley Bloom's Fashion Clothiers. Shelley even offers a fantastic selection of Italian suits starting at just $225 each. Service, selection, and price are the three ingredients in a recipe that kept Shelley Bloom going in business in that same location for 40 years plus, and Shelley guarantees, he says, you can bet the beast life on it, that'll never change. The selection is fantastic. Alterations are always free, and with thousands of suits in stock up to size 70, speaking of the beast, you're sure to find what you need. So stop overspending at the malls and make one great trip, or maybe a whole bunch of trips, to Shelley Bloom's in the heart of the Fashion District. They're open daily, Monday through Saturday, 9:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. You want to compare price, get more info, just give Shelley a call, 305-573-5890. That's 305-573-5890 for Shelley Bloom's Fashion Clothiers. Well worth the trip no matter where you be.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
The Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Winding your way down to Bakerstown, finding a gray head of PTL. Well, it's just a lonely day since Tammy's gone away, 'cause he couldn't give her everything. This city preacher spends his time in jail, but he should get up off his knees 'cause he's getting nailed. Is his aspiration gone? 'Cause Tammy's moving on. Yeah, she's looking for the wild thing. They used to think that it was so easy to beg for cash with Tammy's face greasy. Now he's crying 'cause she's violent now. Just once a week and then she'd be happy. But Tammy faces Jim made love crappy, so she's violent while he's crying now.
Truth is, he didn't know a G-spot from a club sandwich.
10:33, all you suckers out there, you keep giving your money to them fakers, man, like Jim Baker and Jimmy Swaggart and the Pope. Just keep pouring the money out of your pocket into their hand. They love it. Tax-free. Here's today's poll. Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy? Inspired, of course, by the Strom Thurmond story. That's what I voted for. I think that's winning so far. That story just is shocking. You notice nobody's talking about it. Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy? Rush Limbaugh, illegal pill popper. Coke boozehead George W. Bush lectures about morality. Racist Strom Thurmond had fathered illegitimate black daughter, 16-year-old girl. He knocked her up. She had a daughter. And then finally we find out, let's see, it was 1941, 62 years later we find out about it. No, actually, it's got to be more than that. Wasn't she like 70-something? Whatever. Philandering Representative Henry Hyde lectures Clinton on morality. I wonder how that guy out in Weston is doing if he's still alive, the guy whose wife Henry Hyde stole and told that he wasn't married. Jim Baker rips off his follower, turned out to be a pervert. Yeah, he was selling condos in that, what the hell did they call that? The Kingdom of something or other.
No idea.
Kingdom of Yoshki. Yeah, they were selling condos. In other words, they had like 100 condos, but they were selling like 200. They didn't have them. And then, of course, come to find out he was screwing his brains out, not only with women, but with, well... Jimmy Swaggart sins with hookers. My Lord, I have sinned. Remember that? And then they still keep sending him their money. That's the thing that I love. And look what has no vote so far. Born-again John Van Beesbrook, the Beezer, calls one of his players nigger. Actually, it was the goalie on a minor league team he was coaching here in Canada.
This one's tough. I don't know where to vote on this one.
It was a tough choice. I voted for Strom Thurmond. Because here is one of the, well, see, you're not old enough to remember just how virulent he was. He was in 1948. One of the lead segregationists in America with his Dixiecrat party and a whole deal and turned against the Democrats and just a virulent racist son of a bitch. So I guess basically his philosophy was those darkies are okay in the bedroom, but other than that, just to keep them in their place, okay? In fact, maybe he screwed her in the back of the bedroom as opposed to like in the front of the bedroom, maybe on the back of the bed. Or maybe somebody was on their back. And that's the deal. There's the poll question. So far, Strom Thurmond, illegitimate black daughter, 12. Coke boozehound George W. Bush lecturing about morality. He's the guy that was going to bring morality back to the White House after Bubba with them blue stains on the white dress, or was it the other way around? Rush Limbaugh, illegal pill popper, 7. Jim Baker rips off his followers, turns out to be a pervert, 5. Jimmy Swaggart sins with hookers, 3. Philandering Henry Hyde lectures Clinton on morality, 2. And born-again John the Beezer calls his goalie a nigger. No votes yet. Nobody said it. I guess born-again Christians can use the N-word, right?
I voted for Rush.
Okay. Huh?
I voted for Rush.
13 died, 22 wounded as truck bomb explodes in Baghdad. A truck loaded with explosives that was apparently on its way to strike a police station blew up in the middle of a busy intersection in Baghdad today when it collided with a bus, killing 13 people and wounding 22, the Iraqi police said. The explosion took place about a half a mile from the Amil police station in the Baya area of southwest Baghdad. Among the dead were 3 children, 2 girls and a boy who were ripped apart from the blast. It was horrible, said Second Lieutenant Ahmed Suhail. I've never seen a bomb this big. I want to remind you that every one of these people, including these children who are dying and being decapitated and whose lives are being destroyed, every one of these people is a victim of the illegal attack on Iraq. Just keep that in mind, okay? While you're all swelled up with glory and excitement about these pictures of Saddam, that horrible terrorist who used to be our close personal buddy. I know that's hard for a lot of people to swallow, but that's the fact. And just like that letter that I read to the editor from the Star, these are war crimes just as grotesque, just as gruesome, just as unacceptable, based on a pack of lies. Here's some news the Beast is all excited about.
Huh?
No, I told you before the show, you're pretty whipped up about it. So why don't you just get sick? And then you can get some medical marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
An appeals court ruled yesterday that a federal law outlawing marijuana does not apply to sick people who are allowed to smoke pot with a doctor's recommendation. You're sick. Everybody in the building would go along with that. You're about as sick as they come.
Yes.
So, what's not to like? In fact, maybe we can get you back on balance for life. And inside your black sack, there'll be like a little something extra in the sack.
Sign me up.
The ruling by the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals was a blow to the federal government in its fight against medical marijuana. The Justice Departments argued that state medical marijuana laws were trumped by federal drug laws. The case also underscores the conflict between federal law and California's 1996 medical marijuana law, which allows people to grow, smoke, or obtain marijuana for medical needs with a doctor's recommendation. 8 other states have similar laws. The Justice Department wasn't immediately available to comment. Of course, they're busy licking their wounds. They're busy rolling a big fat one. In its 2-1 decision, the court said prosecuting medical marijuana users under the federal law is unconstitutional if the marijuana is not sold, transported across state lines, or used for non-medicinal purposes. Judge Harry Pregerson wrote for the majority that smoking pot on the advice of a doctor is a different in kind from drug trafficking. The court added that this limited use is clearly distinct from the broader illicit drug market. Yesterday's ruling sends the case back to the district judge, and while the women's case is yet to be tried, the women who brought the suit, the appeals court said the two have demonstrated a strong likelihood of success on the merits. How do you like that?
All right.
There you go. That's one tiny step for mankind and one bad step backward for the fascist in there in the DEA. The pot police. WQAM.
Yeah, as far as that poll goes, how about Marion Barry for snorting cocaine and Jesse Jackson for father and children out of wedlock, and then, leaving the public eye and then saying, oh, my people want me back? Or is that a little racist?
Yeah, it must sound like a racial thing to me.
It's a racial thing. I mean, I those two guys, and I think the reason I picked them is they're much more in the forefront than Strom Thurmond was, especially in the last few years.
No, I don't think so. No, not Marion Barry. Jesse Jackson, I'd agree with you, but Marion Barry was the mayor of Washington, D.C. Most people don't even know who the hell Marion Barry was. They think he played for the Redskins.
Well, yeah.
Plus, never trust a guy with a woman's name anyway.
George W. wouldn't even know where he was.
Exactly. Oh, but Jesse Jackson, have a great holiday, pal, and say goodbye. Let's get that on there. Now, you're going to email these to Eric or not? He's probably listening because he doesn't trust you after yesterday, after your tragic failure to communicate with him yesterday. He's pretty pissed off at you.
Would be the first person.
No, see, actually, what I'm doing now this week is faxing him the poll the night before.
Right.
Because I realize that it's kind of like a patchwork situation now that you're filling in there for George, because your main concern is the Joe Rose show they have to do those sports updates on. The main concern of the radio station is sports. So we're very grateful for the fact that they've loaned us the Beast this week just to be with us and sit in there and hold our hand. Sports is where it's at on this station. So let's add that on there. Jesse Jackson, father's illegitimate child. We ought to put the Reverend Jesse Jackson, shouldn't we? Just to make it kosher. Who has nothing to do with sports. But Marion Barry, I think he played tight end once. And the best part of the thing with Marion, didn't they re-elect him? Didn't he get elected back in again after the first drug bust? I think so.
I think so. I think you're right.
I think he did. People like a crook, like in Sunrise, like John LaMello. He came in, Raul Martinez in Hialeah. If you're a really crook that's well-liked, they like you anyway. Like Meyer Lansky. Everybody loved Meyer. That cute little dog. Used to walk his dog on Collins Avenue. What's not to like? Plus, sometimes it's good to be on the good side of them people. You catch my drift? 10:41 at 560 WQM. If you're sick and tired of spending all your time in the kitchen during the holidays, why not let the #1 Asian buffet restaurant, the Emerald Coast, do the cooking for you this holiday season? Reserve your holiday party now. Emerald Coast can accommodate even the largest groups, a small group like a small handful, which we can relate to, or a big group like maybe even
about 30, man.
Start your fantastic pig out at the Emerald Coast with 6 different kinds of soups. Have 1 or 2, or have them all. Just shove them down your puss. And dozens of succulent entrees like New York strip made to order in their sizzling Asian grill. They've got that brand new seafood Saint-Jacques. Enjoy oysters on a half shell every night, too, at the Emerald Coast. There's Alaskan stone crab, middle neck clams, jumbo shrimp scampi, and now for the first time ever, steamed Maine lobster on the weekends. They've got hand-carved prime rib, their new Thai specialties, too. And don't forget, like I always tell you, one of the reasons that Emerald Coast stands out above the others, no crap, no MSG, no cornstarch, no headaches, and they cook only with cholesterol-free oils, too. There's a full salad bar, a brand new sushi bar, fresh shrimp cocktail, and at the end of the whole deal, they've got a dessert station that'll knock your socks off, featuring Belgian waffles, pies, cakes, pastry, ice cream with all your favorite toppings, fresh fruit, all kinds of real good crap. Emerald Coast, 3 locations for you. They're in Sunrise on the corner, well, just off the corner of Pylon on 44th Street, just up the Hershey Highway a block. Collins Avenue, just north of 163rd, North Miami Beach, and at the intersection of Flamingo and Pembroke Roads in Pembroke Pines. Take the whole family or book your next business luncheon right now, and don't forget, let them do the cooking for you during the holiday season, too. Takeout and delivery always available as well. Call the Emerald Coast at 954-572-3822. 954-572-3822. Happy holidays from Richard and all our good friends at the Emerald Coast Chinese Buffet.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Secretly wiggle in the wick of Reverend J.
You gonna give me something to eat?
Apparently Jesse liked to play.
You just gonna give it and not feed me?
He's a bigger hound than Richard Bay.
I'm a woman. I got meat.
Now all the papers say
it's all public now.
Jesse's got a love child, yeah.
You put the baby in me, Jesse.
Will divorce papers be filed, yeah.
And you play, you pay.
Likes it spicy, not mild, yeah. He's in trouble, it would seem.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You in trouble now, Jesse.
A big part of Clinton's team.
Hey.
Yeah.
You gonna buy me a necklace or something?
This was not MLK's dream.
Ooh, damn, I'm hungry, Jesse.
Hanging round the Oval Office with his hoochie girl.
I'm eating for 2 now, Reggie.
Expensive suit and brand new Jerry curl.
Ooh, baby, you get a little bit fat.
In the limo, he gave her a whirl.
You be touching me without feeding me.
It makes you wanna hurl.
Better give me something to eat.
Jesse's got a love child, yeah.
Got to buy the baby some shoes.
Will divorce papers be filed, yeah.
You be running around in them raggy shoes.
He likes it spicy, not mild, yeah.
I'm gonna need some more money.
He's in trouble, it would seem.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Give me some of that Reverend money.
A big part of Clinton's team.
Come on, Jesse.
Yeah.
Give me a little something, something.
Leading with his balance beam.
Ooh.
Yeah.
More like a toothpick.
This was not MLK's dream.
I'm hungry, baby.
10:48 at 560 WQM. I see that the Beezer got a vote finally. I bet you that was Rimmer cast that vote. Boy, he hates him like poison. I really never figured out why. I never really got the inside story on that. Let's see. From Reason Online, somebody sends me the, what is it? Oh, yeah, I'm glad you sent me this because they were talking about even the unctuous Bob Novak ended the crossfire yesterday by saying, damn it, something about damn it. Yeah, even the right-wingers think this is so asinine, so pathetic. Got a right-wing Republican asshole out there in California, Doug Ose, O-S-E, who is introducing a bill in Congress. He wants to increase the FCC's infamous 7 dirty words to 8 by doubling up on versions of asshole. So in other words, if he got his way, we couldn't say asshole on here anymore. No mo. No grammatical novice, Ose wants to ban noun forms as well as verb, adjective, gerund, participle, infinitive forms of the words too terrible to speak. He's pissed off. What is this from? Reason Online. Peeved that U2 frontman Bono got away with saying effing during the Golden Globes Award broadcast a while back. Noted First Amendment attorney Robert Corn Revere is quoted in the story saying there is no conceivable way that an approach like that could survive constitutional review. This is one of the reasons why radio and TVs have on and off switches. Oh, man. What a concept. Ose's bill, H.R. 3687, is filled with dirty language he wants to ban from the airwaves. You can search for it here, which we're not going to read it on the air for obvious reasons, because we don't want Muff to have another heart problem. But at any rate, the bill says to amend Section 1464 of Title 18 United States Code to provide for the punishment of certain profane broadcasts and for other purposes by inserting this and insert this, okay, you jackass. And then as used in this section, the term profane used with respect to language includes the words Schmidt, and that's the only one. I can't read the other ones. Mother effer, and asshole. Compound use, including hyphenated compounds of such words and phrases, when each other with other words. This is just unbelievable. Question for all you amateur lawyers out there, says this article, would it be illegal to go on TV and call Ose a effing asshole is wasting everybody's time with Schmidt like this? Yeah, I think so. Is that incredible or what? Stuff is going on in the world. All the crap that's going on, this guy's worried about asshole.
Why are you airing shit like this?
Exactly. Good point. Good question. Representative Doug Ose, Republican of California. Another Osehole. How about if we just called him an Osehole? Would that be good?
Bad words, man.
Yeah, we could replace asshole with Osehole.
Kids might be listening. You never know.
All the garbage that's going on in the world. We got these asshole. Oh, see, there you go again. I can't stop doing it. That's because I'm a potty mouth. I'm a professional filth spreader, filth monger. Can't help myself. That's what Jesse Jackson said. He couldn't help himself. Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy? Racist Strom Thurmond had fathered illegitimate black daughter. She was only 16 years old. He was screwing the slaves. 33. Rush Limbaugh, illegal pill popper. 31. Coke boozehound George W. Bush lectures about morality. 29. Jim Baker rips off his followers and then turns out to be a pervert. 13. Philandering Representative Henry Hyde lectures Clinton on morality. 6. See, they've forgotten all of that crap. We could have put Bob Livingston on there, too, that had to resign from the House. Remember those days during the middle of Penisgate?
Yes.
Or was he a senator, Bob Livingston? I believe he was a senator. Whatever the hell it was, he had to resign in disgrace. Jimmy Swaggart sins with hookers. 6. Reverend Jesse Jackson fathers illegitimate child. 3. I think that's a racial thing. And born-again John Beezer John Beezer Van Beesburg calls his goalie a nigger. 1 vote. I'm sure it was Rimmer. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Bookster at 2, Mad Dog's off this week. We're just fumbling around, you know. Just try to get to the new year. It's one of those things. It's the ash end. The ratings landed last Wednesday. I wish I'd have known that sooner. I'd have put a lot less effort the last 2 days. Although yesterday's show was really bad. That was Carlos Pecuri's fault. Don't forget, fault. Beast, here's a little good lesson for you. Yeah. When you have a bad show, always find somebody else to blame. Always find a scapegoat.
That's cool.
Don't ever say, oh, man, I really screwed up today and did a really crappy show. Always say, God, it must have been Moe's fault. It must have been Joe Rose looked at me cross-eyed, put me in a bad frame of mind. Always got to be somebody else. Must have been Clarence last night for rolling over and looking the other way in bed. Just at the wrong moment. How is that thing going with that new King coil?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I heard that Clarence recoils when he sees your fat ass plop on it.
And the thing is, it's a queen, so both of us have plenty of space to move around.
He thinks you're a what? WQAM.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
How did Brian Cox escape the list?
He was on there.
Can you say Cox?
Oh, that's right. You can't say that anymore. Okay, you're out. Oh, good point. That was excellent. Very good, sir. You can't say anything no more. You can't say Schmidt. Oh, so you can't say that. One thing I know Brian Cox can't say anymore on this station.
Suck my dick.
No, don't say that, Brian. Don't say it again.
Suck my dick.
You're out. Old number 51. He just got kicked out.
Suck my dick.
Damn it. What an asshole he is, I once did a personal appearance with him at IOD. I know that sounds almost impossible, but it's true. He was signing autographs and I was signing autographs and I don't remember what the hell it was all about. But he was nice enough to me. He was kind of genteel. He did not say
suck my dick.
But at any rate, he said it to somebody we know.
Are you sure?
To Mad Dog, as a matter of fact.
Plus, he gave that finger the one time to the crowd.
Right. Oh, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Wasn't that in Buffalo that he flipped the bird?
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Hey, Brian, are you happy? I hate WLD again. Suck my dick. But I'm happy.
What a guy. What a guy, that Brian Cox. Oh, we can't say that. You're right. Very good point, sir. He was on yesterday's poll. I already Schmidt-canned the result. See, I can't say that either. Hey, Representative O, it sounds like you're giving out O's job to everybody is what you're doing, you piece of turd, you asshole. I better say it a lot now because the day may come. Although, both, what's his name, Carville and what's his name, Bob Novak, that fascist pig on there, they were like making fun of him. They were saying, man, you're an asshole. He didn't say asshole. But he did, Novak pointed out that, what's that goofy guy with the glasses that's on that show on a weekend? Not Mark Russell. That other guy. Whatever his name is.
Oh, the media show? The one that critiques
Yeah,
the media?
Washington this week. You know who I mean.
Yeah.
That he had said Bullschmidt a couple times on the air. Without the M.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. And Novak and had no problem with that. You know, I mean, let's grow up already, shall we? Can we grow up?
No.
No, not in America. And so Novak ended the show by saying, well, we'll be back again tomorrow, damn it, with another edition of Crossfire! You know the way, that phony way he does it? He is so pathetic. So sad.
How about how Tucker's in Baghdad?
Yeah, Mother Tucker Carlson's in Baghdad, and you notice, they made him take off the bow tie.
Thank God.
They wanted to be too obvious of a target, so they told him probably be a good idea to take off the bow tie. They don't wear no bow ties in Baghdad.
Did you hear he was like, oh, it looks pretty safe here to me.
No, he didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
The hell he did. He was looking over his shoulder. He was in all kinds of stuff in the background. He said, even in the day. No, wait a minute. That's right. He was saying that because, of course, he's got to be a Bush apologist. It was Bill Hummer. Bill Hummer that was giving a real story about how when he got there, it's kind of a scary, scary place. And what I would say is...
Absolutely correct, sir. Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
Are you drudge packing?
Uh-huh.
On the first day of Hanukkah, my parents gave to me a picture of my fat Aunt Bernice. On the second day of Hanukkah, my parents gave to me 2 stinking dreidels and a picture of my fat Aunt Bernice. Amen. On the third day of Hanukkah, my parents gave to me 3 ugly shirts, 2 stinking dreidels, and a picture of my fat Aunt Bernice.
So what?
Well, you look at it.
What's that weird thing on her head?
That's her face.
Oy.
On the 4th day of Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
That's cool. My parents gave to me lousy kosher candy, 3 ugly shirts, 2 stinking dreidels.
Sing the dreidel song.
No.
Sing it.
Dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when no one is watching, I'll throw the thing away.
No, was that nice?
Bite me.
Oy.
On the 5th day of Hanukkah, my parents yelled at me
for wanting a Christmas tree.
What?
Well, Jimmy's got one.
Maybe Jimmy's Catholic.
Oh.
And not wanting candy.
Not wanting shirts.
Not wanting dreidels.
Or a picture of my fat Aunt Bernice.
Amen.
On the 6th day of Hanukkah, my parents made me sing.
If I were a rich man.
I
know. This song every year.
In front of my fat Aunt Bernice.
Oy vey.
On the 7th day of Hanukkah, not bad, my parents made me eat 7 greasy latkes.
If I were a rich man.
I want a Christmas tree. I want a Christmas tree.
I want a Christmas tree.
Oy, is this a putz?
On the 8th day of Hanukkah, my parents gave to me nothing that I wanted, 7 greasy latkes.
If I were a rich man.
Where is my Christmas tree?
Shut up!
Lousy kosher candy, 3 ugly shirts, 2 stinking dreidels, and a picture of my fat Aunt butts.
Something that just crossed my mind. Kosher candy is given at Hanukkah. What kind of candy is not kosher? You see what I'm saying? In other words, what is it in kosher candy that separates it from
Well, I guess
treif?
if it had a filling of some sort that wasn't
Tefillin?
kosher. Yeah, tefillin.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I'm just...
A filling with what? Like pork?
That would be bad. That would not
Like
be
with
kosher.
ham? Like with bacon?
Maybe.
Bacon-filled Hershey bars?
No, there's foods, obviously, besides pork that aren't kosher. You know, it's the way it's made.
Oh, you mean like shrimp-filled O. Henry bars?
Right, exactly.
Whole thing sounds bogus to me. See, it always shows you that the Jews are better businessmen than the Goyim. They come up with a holiday where 8 straight days you're supposed to give a gift as opposed to just one day. Anybody can do it on one day, you know? But 8 consecutive days. Let's see. Here's a fact that says what I found most hypocritical is W invading Iraq for possessing WMDs, while the USA is the largest owner of WMDs by far.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Which I think is what that letter to the editor I read from the Toronto Star was trying to say, and said very well. Anyway, I noticed you faxed me, and I appreciate it, Mark, the faxer out there, but it's 6 pages you faxed me here.
Sorry.
You should be. I mean, it's a great column, but it's nothing new. It says Saddam's capture means trouble for U.S. officials by Jacob Hornberger. The website is fff.org, the Future of Freedom Foundation. What Future of Freedom? I guess he must be talking about another country. He's talking about the closely guarded secrets that could be made known worldwide if Saddam starts singing. One of those secrets is the extent of the relationship that existed between the Reagan and Bush administrations, that's Bush 1, and Saddam Hussein, the details of which had never been fully disclosed by U.S. officials. There is, of course, that famous photograph on the Internet, which is on our website still, in which Rumsfeld and Hussein are shaking hands and making conversation in Baghdad in 1983. How did that meeting get set up? Who was involved in the decision-making process? What was discussed? What agreements were entered into? Saddam's testimony at trial could provide some of the answers, and that prospect of Saddam Hussein testifying freely, openly, and publicly about his relationship with Ronald Reagan, President Bush 1, and Rumsfeld would undoubtedly strike terror into the hearts and minds of many U.S. officials. You know, they were showing before, again, how they were on the verge, the soldiers were on the verge of dropping a grenade through the hole into the spider hole.
Right.
Now, that would have been a bad mistake. You do understand how fortunate they were that they didn't fight back? Because if they would have thrown a grenade in there and blown them to bits, you think anybody would believe that it was Saddam Hussein?
No.
Anybody?
No.
No. Not that we doubt the credibility of this administration, but is there any chance that anybody would have believed that it was Saddam Hussein?
No.
And you'll be pleased to know, for that skeptical broad that called the other day, the final DNA test did come back yesterday, and the answer was, it's him. In case there was any doubt in the mind of anybody with an IQ larger than their nipple size, it's him. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Don't forget Mark Eisenberg and the big toy drive, the Joe and Mark toy drive. He's out at the Town Center Mall in Boca in the Sears parking lot, now to 1 in the QM van. Look for Fat Mark. Is he still fat? Well, I mean, you're no one to be talking about fat, and neither am I.
He's big boned.
He's got a big bone? Don't let Clarence hear you say that. Good thing he's not around today. Jealous as hell. Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy? That's our poll question today. And the daughter of Strom Thurmond is holding a press conference. She's going to be speaking any minute. I think it's a racial thing, don't you? She's going to be speaking. Why is she holding a press conference? Isn't that kind of like ludicrous? Oh, there you go. Strom Thurmond daughter speaks. They're waiting for her to come through that door.
Is indeed the daughter of the late Strom Thurmond.
Boy, this is just a shocker. A shocker, a racist, miserable, hateful, segregationist sumbitch from South Carolina. Strom Thurmond, old rednecky, miserable, hateful sow that he was. And he knocked up a 16-year-old girl and had a biracial daughter who's now 78 years old. She's going to be holding a press conference. We'll hear a couple of words from it. She's probably going to say it's a racial thing. 199 votes. Which of these is the greatest piece of hypocrisy? Rush Limbaugh, illegal pill popper, 63. Racist Strom Thurmond had fathered illegitimate black child with the thing is changing again. Illegitimate black daughter, 52. Coke boozehound George W. Bush lectures about morality, 36. Jim Baker rips off his followers, turns out to be a pervert, 21. Reverend Jesse Jackson fathers illegitimate child, 12. Philandering Representative Henry Hyde lectures Clinton on morality, 9. Jimmy Swaggart sins with hookers, 9. And Born Again John, the Beezer Van Beesbrook, calls his player a nigger, too. I guess Rimmer must have voted again. He must have gone to another computer and voted twice. I'm serious. He hates the Beezer.
Why?
I don't remember. I really don't remember the reasons why. He just didn't like him. I guess his personality or just something about him. And then, of course, when the Beezer became born again, then he became a real pain in the ass. Well, you know how those born again people are. Oops. Kind of like the Orthodox Jews. Oops. Like Jew Lieberman. You notice Lieberman is now the hatchet man as the Democrats try desperately to knock away Howard Dean. You see what's going on now? Just ripping and shredding and tearing. He's the pivot man in the attempt to whisper some life back into the flailing campaigns of Kerry and Gebhardt and, of course, Lieberman himself.
Great. That gives me a lot of hope.
And the idea that there are people actually believe that he has a chance to be the nominee, much less be elected. I mean, what are these people thinking about? No chance. It's so frustrating to watch the way the media behaves and people in general. On this show, I've been telling you that since right after the election. In fact, when the Chad counting was still going on. You could look at that electoral college map and you could see that having a Jew on the ticket was the kiss of death. In states that Gore otherwise might have won, including his own state, Tennessee, that was the end of, that was the kiss of death, putting a Jew on the ticket. And not just a Jew on the ticket, like maybe Carl Levin from Michigan, who's like a really good guy, but an Orthodox, fanatical, right-wing Jew to top it all off. Oh, man. Give me a break. So that even reasonable Jews would have been turned off by it, which I am. He makes my skin crawl. And I'm not a big Chris Matthews fan. I don't like the way he talks out of the corners of, both corners of his mouth, you know. There's something, he's got some kind of a speech defect, don't you think?
Yeah, he's odd.
He's strange. And he's all over the place, but I will say he did a really good job, man. When he's done these, on the college campuses, you know, and they do these series of things with the different candidates, he doesn't take any bullcrap. He really, pushes these guys for answers. And he just roasted Lieberman like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, he just toasted and roasted and basted him. It was a beautiful thing. Nice going, Chris. And what the hell are you talking about? Line 1 is working, by the way, Beast. WQAM. QAM.
I guess. Excuse me. Hello?
Reverend Jones, I think.
Now,
yeah.
Can we talk about something positive?
It's Reverend Jones. WQAM, hello.
Can I talk to Neil, please?
Speaking.
Neil, hi. I'm a long-time listener, and I can't listen inside work because I can't pick up AM. But a lot of my friends have been listening, and they said you've been playing a really funny song about the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And I'm driving my dad to the doctor right now. We both love the Dolphins, but we are not too happy right now. Could you please play it so I could hear it and he could hear it?
Absolutely. In fact, it's coming up right after this commercial break, okay? So
and by the way, go ahead.
Drive slow.
I will, and happy Hanukkah.
And back to you.
Thank you.
Don't eat any tray candies.
I'll try not to. You too.
No Mars bars with pork.
Nothing like that. Oi gewalt.
Sei gesund.
Bye-bye.
Say goodbye. 12 minutes after 11. Oh, we don't want to rub that in by playing that dolphin thing again, do we?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Woohoo! We still got a shot. We got a shot. Oh, man. Year after year, the same tired, neurotic crap, man. Neurotic repetition.
They're just focused on Buffalo.
That's right. And knowing that in the snow, I don't know what it's going to be like. On Sunday, I don't think Buffalo's expecting, I should know what it's like because I get all the Buffalo channels here. It's going to be cool. There'll be like maybe a little bit of snow. But it is December. It's December. Just keep that in mind. December 21, deep into December. Keep that in mind, all you Dolphin folks. And especially Coach Wannstedt said, he's too busy to worry about getting canned right now. All he's got on his mind is Buffalo. Yeah, that'd be a good place for you to live. In fact, put on them white socks and do some bowling, Dave. It'd be good for you. One of the best-kept dining secrets in town, it's right in prestigious Coral Springs, the Gold Coast Seafood Grill. You weren't there when they brought the food in for George, were you?
No.
A few weeks ago. He said it was absolutely sensational. Gold Coast Seafood Grill just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. They got 3.5 stars from the Sun Sentinel Showtime Dining Review. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill is loaded with all kinds of fantastic mouth-watering dishes like mango plum salmon, almond-crusted mahi-mahi, orange honey-glazed sea bass, and crab and shrimp-stuffed trout. There's an incredible bar atmosphere, too, at the Gold Coast Seafood Grill. Extensive wine and martini list. Big martinis during happy hour are only $5.50 from 4 to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. So big, you could probably, maybe even a beast could take a bath in them. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill at Coral Springs, 2752 North University Drive inside the Beautiful Walk Shopping Center. For reservations and more information, call 954-255-FISH, as in squish the fish. You can dine inside or outside, and large parties and private functions are welcome too. Experience the best-kept secret in lunch and dinner dining in all of South Florida. It's the fantastic Gold Coast Seafood Grill in Coral Springs, 2752 North University Drive inside the Walk Shopping Center. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill, where you always find great seafood and great prices to go along with it.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Stench of cow manure hovers over this performance by the Dolphins.
Miami has the Dolphins, they're the worst football team. They flub the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. They're on the ground, that's where they'll stay. They're never in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking toilet bowl, 'cause they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league? 32. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Don't bet on them, you'll always lose. They don't know how to tackle. They don't know how to block. Their coaches ought to tell them to put Bengay in their jocks. Then they would run much faster, and even in defeat. When we go to the stadium, we'll see Miami Heat, and they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league? 32. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. The team that hasn't got a clue. Miami has the Dolphins, but the Dolphins have no fans. Just 50,000 assholes sitting in the stands. They watch the game and all they do is moan and gripe and bitch. Yes. I wonder how Joe Robbie got to be so goddamn rich. And they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league?
About 30, man.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. I hear the crowd begin to boo. The Dolphins have Jay Fiedler. That quarterback's a Jew. Run down the field and he will throw a pass over you. He'll never win a Super Bowl. You shouldn't be surprised. When he gets cut, that doesn't mean that he was circumcised. And they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league? 32. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Jay calls his signals in Hebrew. The Dolphins have no defense and their offense is a joke. Like George Bush eating pretzels, you know they're gonna choke. They'll always disappoint you when they're in a playoff race, with fewer points than pockmarks on Huizinga's ugly face. And they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. Oh, what the hell, 32. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, now they're through.
All right. 11:21 at 560 WQAM. You notice every time in the last, I don't know how many years now?
About 30, man.
Actually, it is, isn't it? Since 72, 73. About 30 years. Every time there's one of these games, it's like a must game for the Dolphins. Like the Patriot game up in New England, that was a must game, right?
Yep.
Because the Patriots had already wrapped up the division, but for the Dolphins, it was a must game. They lost. The Eagles game on Monday night was a must game. They lost. It's always the same. Every year, it's always here it comes to the big game. This is the moment. Forget about everything that happened before in the season. This is a must game. And usually it's pretty embarrassing. That's why I was surprised they put up pretty good battle against the Eagles, against a far superior team. But, it still comes out a big L in the standings. A big loss. How is Mark Eisenberg doing? Is he going to be reporting in with us? Actually, we don't need to. He's not going to be so no mess to Neil, is he?
He's going to try.
Hopefully.
He'll try. He's got the best Neil merchandise. He's got our CDs, the best stuff, 2002, 2003, or is it the other way around? Whatever the hell it is.
Hey, by the way, I got $100 last night.
For what?
Doing out in Poynton.
I beg your pardon?
I was out there with Joe Costello.
What language is he speaking, Beast?
Gaelic.
That's what Duff wanted from him. A Gaelic. So you got $100. Nice going, Josh. So that's another 100. I don't know what the total is because Miguel is too busy there dashing Doreen. Doreen's not in the building, though. She's been...
You should see Miguel running around the building like his head's cut off.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to have to take that off the keychain if that Ose guy gives us the Ose job with that bill. That bill, by the way, has got 2 chances, none and much, much less than none, you asshole. Representative Ose. Got something good to say about Jesse Jackson. Mark it down. Jesse Jackson marches to protest drug sweep. Well, there he is, always exploiting every situation, making it into a racial thing. I wonder if it only would have been white kids at that school. You think he'd have been there? No. North Charleston, South Carolina. The Reverend Jesse Jackson led hundreds of marches carrying signs and chanting slogans yesterday to protest a drug sweep in which police with guns drawn ordered students to the floor. We talked about that story extensively on his show, and by now you must have seen those pictures many, many times.
About 30, man.
Critics say the raid appeared to have targeted black students, which police have denied. See, it's a racial thing. Even though I saw a lot of white kids. Didn't you see them pictures? Beast?
I never actually saw them, no.
You never saw this, and first they had those grainy pictures, from the surveillance cameras. Then CNN somehow got a lot better quality pictures that even had the audio. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now, chanted the marchers. Just say no to the police state, read one sign. Excellent, police state. And we're not talking only about in South Carolina. We're talking about in the USA. We got a freaking police state. We got the word police. Oh, John Ashcroft got fined for, we'll get to that, for his last campaign for the Senate in which he lost to a dead man. John Ashcroft's getting his ass deeper and deeper into trouble. Speaking of assholes. We're going to march again and again and again, Jackson told those who rallied in front of City Hall. They'll get bigger and bigger until there is fairness in the land, said Jesse. Now, which daughter do we like the most, Jesse's daughter or that one from Strom Thurmond? The November 5th raid on my birthday, no less, they got some stinking nerve at Stratford High and nearby Goose Creek. Drew national attention after video from a surveillance camera showed students ordered to the floor while officers with guns and a drug dog searched them. About 100 students were searched, no illegal drugs were found, and nobody was arrested. Besides denying any racial profiling, police have said they believed aggressive tactics were needed to ensure the safety of the officers and other students. I mean, somebody might have pulled out a joint and shot somebody with it, right? 2 civil suits related to the raid have been filed in federal court. State and federal officials are investigating whether any criminal laws were broken by the police. The cops burst into the school or the main hallway very aggressively and started pointing their guns at everyone as if we were criminals, Stratford freshman Carl Alexander told the crowd. Senior Tori Richardson fought back tears as she spoke. She said, "It hurts. My sister still has to go through that school. I don't want her to go through the same thing that happened, nor do I want anybody else's kids to go through the same thing," she said. As Jesse Jackson is there leading hundreds in a protest at Stratford High in South Carolina, as fascism in America continues once more. Man, it's a frightening thing to see that. As they're goose-stepping all around, the brown shirts, with their helmet, a bunch of helmeted freaks. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Don't forget, Mark Eisenberg is out there someplace. I think we ought to start sending Scott Jr. out, just in the van, No, not to any place in particular, just driving around and see if he can find like a spot, and explain to us where he is. He's a lost soul. WQAM.
Neil?
Yes, sir.
Neil, a couple of things. Miriam Elephant, was fired.
Yeah.
It definitely was racially motivated. Had she been white, she would have kicked her fat ass out of there a long time
That's a good point.
ago.
That's right. That was racially motivated. It was a racial thing.
That's why they kept her so long.
Right.
The other thing, I have a very good idea about Saddam Hussein. Let's clean up the guy, put him back in power, and have him sell a lot of oil, make us promise not to invade the gangsters in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, and somehow when he pay us back with the oil money what we spend on the stupid war, make it sure it doesn't get into the hands of Halliburton and Cheney and Bush gang.
Yeah, well, that ain't going to happen. Yeah. Okay. Have a great day, pal. It's not gonna. That's why that ain't ever gonna happen. And of course, Diane Sawyer. How come we didn't get any calls yet about the president's interview, that sparkling marshmallow toss with Diane Sawyer? I saw about 2 minutes of that. Then I went back to my hockey game. That was pathetic. Hey, Diane, you're pathetic. No wonder it was Diane Sawyer that said. In fact, didn't she ask that to the president too? Can you describe to us just how smelly the hole is? Seriously, and he said, don't talk about Condoleezza like that.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
But I was going to play there because here comes Strom Thurmond's biracial daughter. She's 78 years old. You watching this? On Certainly Not News Network?
That's a woman.
I think we stop. That's bad.
Essie Mae Washington Williams, the daughter of Strom Thurmond.
My name is Essie Mae Washington Williams.
All right.
My mother, who is now deceased, was named Carrie Butler, and she worked for the Thurmond family. I was born in Aiken, South Carolina, on October the 12th, 1925. My father's name was James Strom Thurmond. About 6 months after I was born, my Aunt Essie, after whom I was named, took me to Pennsylvania. When her sister, Mary Washington, came to Pennsylvania, she took me with her to Coatesville, a small town near Philadelphia. She and her husband, John Washington, adopted me. They were very good parents to me, and for that, I will be eternally grateful. I attended the public schools in Coatesville until I graduated from Scott High School. Following my graduation from high school, I enrolled at South Carolina State College upon the recommendation of my father. There, I majored in business education.
Mm-hmm.
After my second year in college,
you following us so far?
I met and later married my husband, Julius Williams. He was in his second year in the newly opened South Carolina State College Law School. He was one of the first graduates from the law school. My husband and I were blessed with 4 wonderful children.
This could be the most boring crap I've ever put on here in my life. I gotta interrupt. Sorry, Elsie Mae, whatever your name is. Don't you think?
I need a flow chart to follow those family lines.
Yeah, she's doing the old family tree, is what she's doing. And what did she say? She was kin to Julius Irving? Something like that. Or Irving Thalberg?
How about Jesse
I don't know what the hell it was. Sounded like a Jew thing to me. Anyway, there's Elsie Mae, and she's the daughter of Strom Thurmond, and she's 78 years old, and her mother was a 16-year-old maid at the time that Strom knocked her up, and yada, yada, yada. What a disgrace, man. Now, here's the facts that says, I demand, not request, I demand that you stop talking about the Dolphins. I listen to your show, Howard Sperm, Rush, Schmidt, all other non-sport shows, to your entertaining, not entertaining, but entertaining and info. Stop doing that, you bastard. Love, Craig in Miami. Okay, Craig in Miami, won't talk about the Dolphins, but here's the weather for Buffalo for Sunday. Just in general, not because there's any game going on there. Doesn't look like no snow. There might be some snow Friday and Saturday over the weekend, not a lot, snow showers. But Sunday, cloudy, high 36, low 21. So the weather will not be an excuse, it doesn't look like. The excuse will be, of course, that it's a must game, and it's December. Put those two together and you got a bad scenario. That's enough, Craig in Miami, you're right. Enough of that crap. 5670560, they're showing a picture of Strom Thurmond when he was still alive, just barely, going into a limo, just aching and baking and quaking. Look at that. Look at that look on his puss.
But the lives of those around him.
Oh, my God. I'm still mama, hello, mama, you know. With his 4 teeth still in his puss. What a piece of crap, man. But in America, you just can't say the truth. You have to pretend that he was just a great American and a great old senator and a good old boy, you know. WQAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good evening.
Me too.
Hiya, Pally.
Oh, boy. WQAM.
Hey, Neil.
That's Dave Friedman. Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
All right, listen, speaking of the Dolphins, thank God for us that they came back this year with a vengeance. Can you imagine what's store for us next year?
What does that mean?
Oh, my God. All the promos they did at the beginning of the year, that they were going to have an awesome year, and look what it turned out to be.
Yeah.
So what's going to...
But aren't you getting used to it?
Oh, I mean, I've been a Dolphins since I got into this country in 1968.
Right.
Thank God.
It's not to make you want to go back.
I told my son, thank God, at least I've seen Dolphins in championships, because, son, I don't see you seeing anytime soon.
No time in his lifetime. You're right.
Anyway, Neil, whatever happened to the thanks for calling lady?
Dead.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, she was one of our favorites.
Yes, she was, man.
Thanks for calling to your mother also.
Have a great holiday, pal. You're out of material. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. We got some sex stories here. China jails 14 over Japanese orgy. This is a story from a few days ago, actually, although the story is dated today, but it came out a few days ago. 2 Chinese hotel workers were sentenced to life in prison today, for organizing a sex romp involving hundreds of Japanese tourists in a case that hit a raw nerve in China and sparked public outrage. I mean, this is a country with 1 billion people, so somebody must be screwing somebody, right? So there must be some kind of sex going on in China.
You would think so.
But they are so damn uptight. Even Representative Ose of California, that asshole, even he'd be shocked by this. 12 other Chinese people were sentenced to prison terms of up to 15 years, and police asked Interpol to help find 3 Japanese suspected of soliciting prostitutes for the orgy, which coincided with the 72nd anniversary of the start of Japan's occupation of China. State media have said the sex spree in mid-September at a 5-star hotel in the southern province of Guangdong, well, you can't say that either, involved hundreds of Japanese tourists and Chinese prostitutas. The scandal triggered outrage in China, where antagonism toward Japan has never been far below the surface, since millions were killed or wounded during about 14 years of Japanese occupation before and after and during WW2. 12 defendants received jail sentences of from 2 to 15 years for organizing prostitution or assisting the organization of prostitution. The case also led to the disciplining of 15 officials with the Police and Tourism Bureau for negligence of the province. Well, how do you like that? They're pretty pissed off and fired up that those amoral Japanese are coming in there screwing around with them people. Speaking of immoral people, Bush said he could back gay marriage ban. President Bush said yesterday he could support a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage. Doesn't want any of that fag stuff going on. Now, while he's at the head of the wheel. Is he at the head? The Massachusetts Supreme Court last month struck down that state's ban on same-sex marriage, saying it's unconstitutional and giving state lawmakers 6 months to craft a way for gay couples to wed. You ought to be pleased about that. You can move back to Massachusetts. You and Clarence. Clarence ever been in Boston?
Not sure.
You can show him the sights.
Love to.
You can take a ride on him or Paul Revere. Bush has condemned the ruling before citing his support for a federal definition of marriage as a solely man-woman union. On Tuesday, he criticized it as a very activist court in making the decision it made. The court, I thought, overreached its bounds as a court, Bush said. It did the job of the legislature. Previously, though Bush has said he would support whatever is legally necessary to defend the sanctity of marriage, he and his advisors have shied away from specifically endorsing a constitutional amendment asserting that definition. But on Tuesday, as in yesterday, the president waded deeper into the topic, saying state rulings such as the one in Massachusetts and a couple of other states undermine the sanctity of marriage and could mean that we may need a constitutional amendment, that they call the anti-fag amendment. If necessary, I will support a constitutional amendment that would honor marriage between a man and a woman, codify that, he said. The position of this administration is that whatever legal arrangements people want to make, they're allowed to make, so long as it's embraced by the state or at the state level. Bush said he believes his view on the topic does not make him intolerant. Right. I do believe in the sanctity of marriage, but I don't see that as a conflict with being a tolerant person or an understanding person, he said. His remarks drew criticism from gay rights groups. It is never necessary to insert prejudice and discrimination into the Constitution, a document that has a proud history of being used to expand an individual's liberty and freedom, not take them away, said Winnie Stackelberg, political director of the Human Rights Campaign. So you'll be pleased to know, breathe easy. The president says whatever it takes to keep them feet on them fags, man, he's going to do it. Stomp them down. How's Mark Eisenberg doing out there at the town center in Boca?
I haven't got an update.
Like I said, he's lost.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Tonight, kick it tonight, kick it tonight. Buffalo, but we're gonna kick it tonight. Hey! Jim Kelly by the Cajones.
administrations to be respected.
Very good. You may continue. No tricks.
11:48, 12 minutes till noon at 560 WQAM. Newsweek reports, there's an article by Christian Carroll, a little piece of it. Before the invasion, Iraq was one of the world's most tightly controlled societies. Only a few specially licensed stores could sell booze, and in recent years, drinking was banned outright. There's a line missing in hotels, except maybe, I don't know. There's a line missing there. A committee in the Ministry of Culture kept a strict watch against even mildly naughty movies, magazines, and films. Convicted prostitutes could be beheaded. Hardcore drug abuse was virtually unknown if you didn't count certain members of Saddam's immediate family and their close friends. Now Iraqis like Ali, and it's got this Ali character that the story is about, are making up for what they've missed, and many other Iraqis, young and old, are blaming America. Some people say the spread of such things is designed to weaken our society, says Colonel Daoud Salman, a police chief in one of Baghdad's roughest districts. Every day we hear from people on the street, not just the religious people, but ordinary people too. Iraqis call it the bad side of freedom. The problems go far beyond Baghdad's tailgate liquor bazaars, where wildcat shopkeepers peddle booze from the back of cars, or the arrays of skin magazines on full display at the teeming Babi Sharji market in the heart of town. The worry isn't only the growing number of visibly intoxicated people around the market, or the pharmacopoeia of pills that are readily available there without prescription. Maybe Rush can go to Baghdad. Stock up on some Oxy. What bothers many Iraqis, apparently even some of those who make their living from the sin industry, is the question of where Iraq is headed. Walk down the street from the market to the adult cinemas, where 70 cents buys an all-day ticket, and the audience hoots in protest if a non-pornographic trailer interrupts the action. We have to compete with the satellite, says the manager of one theater, almost apologetically. A third of the country's population is estimated to have access to pornographic TV channels via satellite dish. For those who don't, enterprising dealers record the footage on video discs and sell them for a pittance. Under Saddam, this would have been automatic 6 months in jail, says a vendor who keeps Ultra X wares in a drawer for special customers at his video shop in Baghdad's Karada district. Now, nothing will happen to us. And it goes on at great length. So in other words, they're getting more freedoms in Iraq than we got in the U.S. Like that poor lady in Texas that we had the story on yesterday about her dildo arrest. Her sex toy arrest in Texas. No, you've heard of Tex-Mex? There's no Tex-Sex. That's the problem. Banned in Texas. Speaking of that, DA that filed charges against Jackson. It's about time, isn't it? They sure are dragging this thing out a lot. Gives us something to look forward to. Santa Barbara County prosecutor said they'll file charges in a molestation case against Michael Jackson Thursday or Friday, and they've hired a public relations firm to handle the expected crush of news media inquiries. The charges will be filed at the courthouse in Santa Maria near the Singers Neverland Ranch. District Attorney Thomas Sneddon said in a statement, Sneddon's hiring of a firm to deal with the media drew immediate criticism from Jackson family spokesman Brian Oxman. He said it was improper because the district attorney is supposed to try the case in court, not in the press. Oxman also repeated criticism of Sneddon for making jokes at a news conference last month when Jackson's arrest warrant was announced. It's an affront to common sense, if not professional ethics, for a DA to have a celebrity crisis management team, which is what this new PR firm styles itself as being, Oxman said. He added, first we had a press conference where the DA told jokes, and now we have a PR firm the DA has hired that also represents the Cartoon Network. A secretary at the DA's office said Sneddon would have no further comment. So tomorrow or Friday, I'm pretty sure it's going to be tomorrow, aren't you? Can you smell it coming? Are you there?
I'm here.
Are you awake? You've gotten awful quiet. Awful quiet, like you're taking a snooze, or maybe like you're eating.
Nope, I just had another shake, though.
Yeah, bullcrap. It sounds like you got the shakes all right.
Josh, did I not have another shake?
Yeah.
Yeah, in between the potato pancakes and brisket that Corky sent over?
Well, that'd be good for Friday if we could arrange that. Corky used to bring some Jew food.
Well, how are we going to arrange that? I can't do it. I can't do it by long distance.
Even
I can't do it by local distance.
Spread the word. I don't know.
I've been begging for you for 2 days. They don't see them. They know I'm not there, so they're not going to bring you anything. They don't give a crap about you. And for a goy like Josh, they're going to bring him potato latkes? You don't even know what the hell that is.
No, he doesn't.
No, he hasn't got a clue what it is. He'd probably like it, though. In fact, Duff said this morning he's got something for Josh that he doesn't know what it is, but he'd probably like it. And Josh ran out in the hallway looking for help. 354 votes on the poll. And, of course, it's a good thing Clarence ain't there this week because if we would have run into him, he'd have to come back inside. Talk about being cornered. Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy? That's our poll on NeilRogers.com today. Rush Limbaugh, illegal pill popper. He'll be on in 8 minutes, by the way, for the right-wing ditto heads out there. Don't miss Rush, baby. Yeah, phony baloney. 104 say he's the biggest hypocrite of all. I'm so embarrassed that I put that lady on there, what's her name? Elsie Mae Schwartz, whatever her name is.
Come on.
God, that was pathetic.
She looks
Racist.
just like Thurman. Looks just like Strom, though. Just like him. I'm serious. She looked exactly like him.
Racist Strom Thurmond had fathered illegitimate black daughter, 84. Coke boozehound George W. Bush lectures about morality, 67. Reverend Jesse Jackson fathers illegitimate child, 33. I think it's a racial thing myself. Jim Baker rips off his followers, turns out to be a pervert, 32. Jimmy Swaggart sins with hookers, 17. Philandering Representative Henry Hyde lectures Clinton on morality, 15. And born-again John the Beezer Van Beesbrook calls one of his players, the goaltender actually was, a nigger, 2 out of 354. Rimmer voted twice. He's not fooling me. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Don't forget, we had a little schedule change. Mark it down for those who keep score at QM every day. It is a sports station. You do have to keep score. Bookster at 2 today. No Mad Dog. He's cooling his heels. Bookster will be at Chula's. You can go watch him eat. Bookster lost a lot of weight. He's kept it off. He looks pretty good. Good man. And you can ask him in person before he goes on the air. Hey, Boog, what's it like working with a dead man?
That's
Dave Van.
Right.
Why do you say that?
Dave Van Horn is such a nice guy.
He's horrible. He's brutal. I don't care if he's a nice guy. There's a lot of nice people. You can go out on the street corner right now and meet nice people. That doesn't mean we ought to put him on the air to broadcast ball games. Joe Zagacki's a nice guy. He's horrible.
Great guy.
He's embarrassing. I like Joe a lot, but his see, you can't separate. That's the problem with you. You can't separate the wheat from the chaff. When you're as fat as you are, you chafe a lot. You probably have to put like a lot of cashmere bouquet in.
A lot of Gold Bond powder.
In your crotch area from all the chafing, especially in the summertime. The Crow said he'd loan you some of his. Some of that cashmere bouquet that he bathes in. No, but you can't separate the difference between somebody you like and somebody who's got talent. You see what I'm saying? Now you'd have to, well, you won't have to because you won't do it. You must admit, if you're going to be the least bit honest, that Joe Zagacki is not a good play-by-play announcer. And I'm saying that I'm being so diplomatic. No, can that thing. I want a response. I want verbiage. I want words. Okay, see, he won't do it because he doesn't want to shoot himself in the foot.
I think Joe does a great job.
Of what?
Of doing the games.
Get out of here. Has he got his legs and fingers and eyes crossed, Josh? You gotta be kidding me.
Oh my!
You are so full of crap, man. See, actually the beast isn't fat at all. He weighs 150. The rest of it's all crap. If you could ever get all the crap out of your body, you'd weigh, like I said, 150 pounds. Soaking wet. All right, setting him aside. Dave Van Boring. Now, you got to admit, the guy is just coma-inducing. He doesn't inject even the slightest. How do you compare Dave Van Boring, for example, with Boog? When Boog is doing his innings of the game, whatever the hell he does, how do you make that comparison?
I think Boog's a lot more enthusiastic.
Yeah, which is a backhanded way of saying that Dave is boring as hell. He is coma-inducing. Why can't you just say it? You know it's true. You told me that before we went on the air this morning. You said he's the most boring man on the radio in history. Didn't you say that?
No.
Well, I just made it up.
Okay.
I'm trying to put you up a little bit. I'm trying to put you beyond the stage of just being another ass licker, okay? There's millions of ass lickers out there in the naked city. Why do you want to be another one? There's too many ass lickers in this business. Why can't you just tell it like it is? Why can't you say he's a nice guy, but his work sucks? Just like I say about Joe.
I don't think his work sucks. I think he's professional. He does a decent job. He's just not Mr. Excitement.
Oh, God, you're hopeless. You are really hopeless. 5670560. The Beast is a wimp. The Beast is a suckhole. The Beast has got his head way up in there. In fact, maybe the Beast has got his eyes on Dave's wife.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Head of Homeland Security, Tom Ridge, advising you to put duct tape on your radio when I raise the warning color to pink for the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
One pill makes you drowsy, my friend, and it also makes you high. Yet the ones my housemaid gave me, they made me itchy all the time. Go ask Wilma. Yeah, she'll keep you well supplied. Downing them goofballs and hillbilly heroin bring me to a higher astral plane. I can have a groove drug and not get busted, thanks to my friends in a higher moral place. So go ask Wilma. She'll get you some horse and a handful of goofballs. I'm back, my supplicants, and ready to build those ovens to burn you and other dissenters, friends. Let's extract the gold out of their teeth and donate the proceeds to the RNC as a show of blind support for our glorious leader. And go ask Wilma. She'll get you through your show by putting logic out of proportion to justify your seething hate out my ass. I'm talking backwards, my diddlehead friends. Oh, down mouse, look me, but yup, yes. Remember what Rush Limbaugh said. All drug abusers should be dead. This, of course, is prescribed medicine.
1203 at 560 WQM. Happy holidays to you. Bookster for a Mad Dog at 2. The Humper, the load at 4. From now, Boog going to be at Chula's?
I believe he is.
Boog at Chula's. Hank, the Humper in the studio. Ira Winderman with Hank 4 to 5. Then you got your Panther preview at 7 tonight. Big game. Anybody going to be there?
No.
The Washington Capitals, man, they really suck at the Panthers. Ought to be a good match. 7:30 tonight. Maybe got a shot to win. After the hockey game, it's Eddie K. and Joe and Mark overnight 2 to 5 in the morning. Mark Eisenberg right now doing his toy drive till 1 o'clock at the Sears parking lot, Town Center Mall in Boca. He's got the best Neil stuff with him. Any report yet? No.
Yeah, he's got one toy.
For us?
No, for the drive, obviously.
Or for him? He just pocketed $120. Well, that's not too bad. $120. I didn't expect nothing.
No, just one toy.
He's got one toy.
Oh, one toy. I thought you said 120. He's got one toy?
One toy.
Oh, no. Man, I'll tell you, that Joe and Mark, even our goofball Scott Jr. yesterday, we got over $500 for Bandit Pet Rescue. Joe and Mark, between the two of you guys, the problem is that their people are all sleeping right now. See, their audience is up 2 to 5 in the morning. They're the night owls. They're the degenerates doing their drug deals, sticking around in the dark of night, waiting, sitting on the edge of their bed, waiting for Mo's voice to come on, put them to sleep. So that's not the right time of day. They ought to be doing their things overnight, like late at night in the parking lot. Sell some stereo speakers, things like that, and pick up some toys. So they got one toy. I thought you said 120. One toy. Oh, that's bad. Anyway, I've done as much as I can for him. Dean leads Democratic PAC in Pennsylvania, holding Bush under 50%. See, this Jew Lieberman, man, this guy is really frosting my ass big time. I mean, pissing me off. Going on the all-out attack. I mean, he occasionally mentions, Bush didn't have a plan, yada, 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 this and that. But he's just trying to decimate Howard Dean because he's the pimp now, Jew Lieberman. They're using him as the attack dog.
Great.
But the good news is Howard Dean is pulling ahead of the Democratic pack among Pennsylvania voters and is the only candidate to keep, this is from the prestigious Boston Globe, the only candidate to keep President Bush under the crucial 50% mark, according to a poll released only moments ago. The Quinnipiac University poll shows Dean, the former Vermont governor, holding a double-digit lead over his closest Democratic rival in Pennsylvania, the nation's fifth largest electoral prize. Dean gets 28%, compared to 17% for Drew Lieberman, and 10% for Dick Gebhardt. Only 10% in Pennsylvania like Dick. Former General Weston, now Clark isn't doing much, aren't you kind of surprised?
Yeah.
I thought he'd be doing like right up there. I really don't know why, because he ate a lot of deli in South Florida. He ate some really good pastrami sandwiches. One of them turned out to be Ann Coulter. Former General Wesley Clark elected 9%. Senator John Kerry 7%. He looks really scary, good old John Kerry. 2 months ago, Dean held a mere 5% of the support. 2 months ago, Dean had 5%, now he's got 28%. It's like a runaway freight train. A populist freight train is just running through America, baby.
Oh!
Hop on the Howard Dean bandwagon.
No.
You don't?
I'm a Kerry guy.
No, that's that Massachusetts thing again.
Exactly.
Oh, just because he looks like his face has already been etched on Mount Rushmore with that craggy puss of his. He's nothing, man.
No, it's because I met him before, so.
Oh, well, I'm going to vote for Greg Reed. I met him. In the race for the Democratic presidential nomination, the Howard Dean, I'm going to vote for Mike Rosenthal. I met him. I mean, that's got to be the most stupid thing I ever heard, Beast. In addition, see, you're at least you're consistent. You're consistently full of crap. Like sucking up to Joe Zagacki, sucking up. I'm not talking about personally about talent. Sucking up to Dave Van Boring and being. I mean, you talk a good game, but when push comes to shove, when you really are given the opportunity to open up that fat mouth of yours and tell it like you really feel, you can't do it. You're just too much of a wimp. You pretend to be like Mr. Outrageous and Mr. He's talking about Joe's contract and Channel, so all the inside stuff about, and you never did tell us the inside stuff about Mo. This audience would lick your ass,
what
man.
What do you want to know?
Anything. You get some of those stories that you always used to come in and like zip your lip and if you only knew.
How
some of the
about
stuff that?
How about like after he fired me from a show and he called me on my cell phone and he accused me of telling all of his audience that he was a bad man and they should call up his show and tease him.
He called you on his cell phone and told you that?
Yeah, he called me on his way home from the show one day, accusing me of spreading bad PR about him, that his audience turned on him because of me.
Howard from Boca.
Yeah, you should answer the phone.
Howard from Boca.
That's incredible. See, now you're redeeming yourself. That's one little good tidbit. That's excellent. Keep thinking of some more of them. We'll have an 80 share by the end of the day if you just start revealing these. He called you on your cell phone and bitched you out and accused you of turning the audience against him. Well, at least you got him off my ass anyway. Briefly. Anyway, Dean 28 in Pennsylvania, Lieberman 17, Gebhardt 10, Wesley Clark only 9%, Kerry 7. In the race for the Democratic presidential nomination, the Howard Dean bandwagon is starting to roll in Pennsylvania, said Clay F. Richards, assistant director of the Hamden, Connecticut-based Quinnipiac University Polling Institute, La Instituta. Senator Lieberman and Representative Gebhardt are holding on, but Senator Clark and Senator Kerry are back in single digits, he said. Even more telling, Dean would hold Bush to a 49 to 43% margin, while the president would score 50% against Lieberman, Kerry, and Clark, and 51% against Gebhardt in Pennsylvania, the poll shows. But a slim majority of Pennsylvania voters are upset with the president for rolling back steep tariffs on steel imports earlier this month, more than a year before they were set to expire. The tariffs endeared the Republican president to political allies politically key Rust Belt states, including Pennsylvania, but now he's up Taurus. So there you go. Dean is doing well in Pennsylvania. He's way ahead, 23-point lead in New Hampshire. He's going to do damn good in Iowa, maybe even win it. And Lieberman says he wants to do good in South Carolina, Arizona, and some other gracious state. I mean, who the hell is he kidding? How many Jews out there in those three states put together?
About 30, man.
They're going to vote for Drew Lieberman. Who the hell is he joking? I got a great story, a great article about George Soros, one of my favorite people in the world, who is now even more one of my favorite people. First of all, he's got a lot of money. Maybe he'll loan me some. This is a great article from Cybercast News Service, cnsnews.com. George Soros' atheism fuels conservative rage. Oh! I love it. I'm going to read this. It's long. Do I have your permission to do it?
Go ahead.
I'm not going to do it right now.
Okay.
Because I'd have to interrupt myself. Oh, here's one you can relate to. 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
One of your kind of people. I guess Joe Rose don't like that kind of music, though.
He doesn't like the thug music.
Yeah, I don't either. I hate it. I don't like the thug music. I don't like the whole concept, the whole ambiance, the whole gangster rap, the whole gangster thing, you know. Oh, that's right. I forgot it's a racial thing. I thought it was a gangster thing. I thought gangster be bad. Shows you I'm way out of it. True. Rapper 50 Cent recently accepted a Video Music Award with his mentor Eminem. He isn't acting when he raps about murder and mayhem in videos like Many Men. In real life, 50 was shot 9 times. Did you know that? How many times? 9. Thanks, Robert. He survived to make monster hits like In the Club. Now he's getting hit with a barrage of lawsuits over his posse's allegedly violent behavior. Watch your posse. That's what I told Screw Ann.
I do every day.
Music video actor Jamar Isom has filed a lawsuit against 50 Cent, real name Curtis Jackson, charging the rapper's bodyguards struck him in the face with their fists while he was at Raleigh Studios in Manhattan Beach to make a 50 Cent video. Jamar said he had photos taken of his injury shortly after the beating, and in this police report, a witness confirms the attacks. By the way, speaking of photos of the beating, whatever happened to those Michael Jackson photos that were supposed to be germane to the case? Remember how he was abused by the police? How come we didn't see those?
Don't know.
Anyway, this guy says he was, the guy just rushes me and tackles me, and all 5-6 guys just come on top of me. Oh boy, the beast is getting excited about hearing that.
Squirt, squirt.
Just stomping me, kicking me in my head, just punching me. I couldn't do anything. Isom says it happened after he was told to go to wardrobe to thug up for a part in the video. Thug up. He says he was waiting for his costume with several other extras when 50 Cent bodyguards told him to stand back, implying 50 Cent was in wardrobe and they were too close. Isom insists they politely complied, but says guards chose to attack him moments later anyway. Isom's lawsuit is the latest in a string of complaints. A limo driver is also suing 50 Cent, charging the rapper's bodyguards attacked him after he picked him up in his limo in Alabama, with or without a banjo on his knee. And even the surgeon who treated 50 Cent's bullet wounds 3 years ago was sued, charging unpaid medical bills. Now this suit demands 50 Cent also pay the medical bills Jamar says he racked up after his beating. Jamar says, I've worked with a lot of people. I've never had a problem. He says the beating left him with lingering pain, smashed his career. He finds himself being shut out of the music video business. He says they blackballed me from the business, and I'm just the innocent guy here. They blackballed him. Sounds like a play on words to me. Court allowed, this is the story that Dave the cop was foaming at the mouth about and faxed me yesterday. And he does have a good point. This shows you how fascistic it's becoming. The Supreme Court issued a traffic warning on Monday. Beware of with whom you ride. If drugs are found in a vehicle, all occupants can be arrested, the justices said in a unanimous 9-zip decision. It was a victory for Maryland and 20 other states who argued police frequently find drugs in traffic stops, but no one in the vehicle claims them. The court gave officers the go-ahead to arrest everybody. Like if they stopped the beast on the way home and they found a pin joint in his ashtray, he could say, oh, that's Moe's. He left it in there, right?
Yes.
Always blame it on Moe.
Absolutely.
In a small space like a car, an officer could reasonably infer a common enterprise among the driver and passengers, the justices ruled. The case stemmed from an incident in 1999 when police in Baltimore suburbs pulled over a speeding car. A search revealed a roll of cash in the glove compartment and cocaine in the armrest in the back seat. The driver and 2 passengers denied having anything to do with the contraband, so all 3 men were arrested. So don't be driving with anybody who's like a druggie. Don't be driving with them. I just mentioned that for when George comes back. 12:13 at 560 WQM. If your hair is gone, like the beast, you got a choice. You can look like the beast, or you can look like Moe with a silly muskrat on your head, or you can look like a mensch. You can look like a real human being with a real full head of hair. How do you do that? All you do is make one simple phone call to Chuck Alfieri and check out his natural hairline system. The best in the universe at any price, which is why even the millionaires, the smart guys, go to Charlie, because they don't want to look like a silly goose. They don't want to have people laughing their ass off at their nasty-looking phony piece. Because Charlie's natural hairline system, we call it that because it looks, guess what, natural, like real hair growing out of your scalp, as opposed to an animal that crawled up on your head and decided to take a rest. And you get, everybody gets 30-day guarantee from Charlie. How many?
About 30, man.
Nothing to lose but that bald spot, because after 30 days, if you don't love the way it looks and feels and smells, if you're not getting laid at least 15, 20, 30, 40 times a day, return it for a full refund. And you also get $200 off the regular price for mentioning that old Neil told you to call when you call Charles Alfieri. Call them today. They'll sit your ass down, show you just how much better and younger they can make you guys look. Call 1-800-321-2413. That's 1-800-321-2413. Or for more info, go on to his world-famous website, charlesalfieri.com.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Gets me fired up when I hear someone say that.
Oh, this one fax you sent me is hysterical. About the double play, we'll get to it. 654 double play. Look out now.
Police got my butt. Police got my butt. Police got my butt. Oh yes, and I had quite a lot. Police got my butt. Police got my butt. But that's alright with me, 'cause it was sprayed with powder quad.
Alright.
I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas while they're smoking all of my pot. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas while they're smoking all of my pot. Police got my butt. Police got my butt. Police got my butt. They confiscated all I got. Police got my butt. Police got my butt. Police got my butt. They busted me in a parking lot. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish them a Merry Christmas while they're smoking all of my pot.
12:20 at 560 WQM. We got our big 1 to 2 hour coming up. I bet it's going to be really good today, too, you know? It's always great. And what are you going to be doing, Beast? You're going to be eating?
No, I'll just sit here, watch TV.
Sit there and soak it in, watch some TV, watch some porno on TV. 435 votes. Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy? Speaking of porno on TV, I wonder if the Playboy channel is doing anything pornographic right now. Keep your hand near the dump button.
Shop in private.
Oh.
.com. You plug this.
I don't want to tell you where they're going to plug it. There are 3 of them on the sofa, and she's got an instrument. Let me just put it to you this way. You can't buy it in Texas, okay?
It gives us 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Button not working. And it tells you to pump.
Oh,
you
it's
squeeze
pumping.
it. It's pumping. It increases its, girth or whatever.
Yeah, she's got an electric dildo there, and you squeeze it, you pump it up, like Arnold would say. She's pumping it up.
Okay, like your Kegel sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it has a timing thing, and then it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's when you squeeze your muscle.
Okay. Anyway, well, it's always dangerous for me to put that audio on there because if we got to get that dump button out.
I'm right on it.
Here's a fax that says, this is from Jim, who's very tidy with his words. He doesn't like to overdo it. Leave of Dave Horn. You see that? Leave of Dave Horn.
Yeah, I saw that. Great.
He is a great describer of what is going on. I don't like hysterical commentators. Well, okay, Bill. We'll leave of Dave Horn. He sucks. Now here's another one, and this one starts out like somebody has an idea what they're talking about. See, this is why sports in South Florida is such a joke, the idea that we have a sports station, because like I've told you before, most people in South Florida don't even understand what sports are all about. They don't even know what the rules are. This is a pathetic fact.
What's icing?
It's on the cake. It says, I don't know how any baseball fan can listen to this. Dave Van what the hell. As you know, batting averages are stated, for example, as .357 is stated as 357. This lame ass will consistently say 357. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. 357?
I don't know. I've never heard him say that.
Well, wait. This'll show you what a genius this guy is, who faxed this. It makes me pissed off and fired up when he does that. Or on a shortstop to second to first double play, we all know that is a 6-5-4 double play.
No.
Right. Jesus Christ, he will say a 6-5-4 double play. Somebody shoot me, okay? I hate to break the news to you, sir, but in baseball, scoring 5 is the third baseman. Right. So that would be one hell of a double play. A short to third to second. Ain't never seen that one before.
That's tough.
So a 6-4-3 double play, according to this guy, is a 6-5-4. Sir, you would know a baseball if somebody stuck a dozen of them and the 4 Haitian guys that were sewing them all up your ass at the same time, you idiot you. That's pathetic. That is so South Florida, man. So typical. Anyway, I better get to my story here. George Soros' atheism fuels conservative rage. They're pissed off and fired up, and I'm glad. I say let's hire George for president, George Soros. Conservatives are fuming over the $15.5 million that billionaire financier and philanthropist George Soros has pledged to defeat President Bush, but they're also anxious to fight back and expose what they consider to be Soros' immoral beliefs and atheist leanings.
All right.
Several prominent conservatives told CNSNews.com that Soros' moral bankruptcy would prove disastrous for the Democratic Party. The liberal groups that have benefited from Soros' gifts, America Coming Together, MoveOn.org, and Center for American Progress, are run by Democrats and have a close allegiance to the party's candidates. Soros, emigrated from Hungary in 1956 and later became a naturalized U.S. citizen, has expressed outrage at the Bush administration's foreign policy, especially its decision to invade Iraq. Soros and his foundation, the Open Society Institute, OSI, follow a strict philosophy that runs counter to Bush's objectives. The idea behind Soros' Open Society, these ideas have fueled the anger among conservatives. The OSI's website states, innocently enough, that its objectives include the strengthening of civil society, economic reform, education at all levels, human rights, legal reform and public administration, media and communications, public health and arts and culture. Soros has given away nearly $5 billion in his lifetime, but while a significant portion of that money has been spent on pro-democracy movements overseas, some of it has gone to liberal causes in the USA. From abortion rights groups to drug reform initiatives, Soros' domestic funding generally ends up in the hands of liberals. The self-proclaimed atheist also created a Project on Death in America to generate debate about the dying process and alleviate unnecessary suffering. Among the beneficiaries of Soros' largesse is the Center for Reproductive Rights, the pro-abortion group that recently saw its internal strategy plotting memos publicized by a pro-family group and at the request of U.S. Representative Chris Shays included in the congressional record. Or Chris Smith of New Jersey. Conservative commentator Armstrong Williams, an authority on Christian values, said Soros wants to destroy the values on which the U.S. was founded. Williams called Soros morally bankrupt, and he wants the U.S. Justice Department to investigate his contributions. He hates God and his biblical principles. He hates everything that's godly, Williams said. He's jumping up and down as the thought that same-sex marriages could happen in his country. It's a direct assault on the church, the institutions that restrain and restrict our behavior, and remind us of the standard of morality and moral absolutes. Other conservatives were just as harsh. The right-wing lunatic Reverend Louis P. Sheldon, founder and chairman of the Traditional Values Coalition, said Soros had to be taken seriously because he's the daddy warbucks of everything we do not believe in. No one knows what demons drive Mr. Soros to consistently fund anti-family agendas, said Robert Knight, director of the Culture and Family Institute at Concerned Women for America. But he seems determined to turn the world upside down and replace morality with immorality. For much of his life, Soros shied away from public attention. It wasn't until after his quantum fund became a huge success on Wall Street that he began to dabble in philanthropy at about the age of 50. As a child and teenager, Soros was profoundly shaped as a Jew living in Nazi-occupied Hungary. His father, Tividar, protected George, his mother, Erisbeth, and brother Paul by obtaining false identities for them. At 14, George assumed the identity of a Christian and was separated from his parents. I would say that's when my character was made, Soros said in the 60 Minutes interview in 1998. A biography of Soros by former New York Times reporter Michael D. Kaufman detailed the experience. When George was 6 years old, his father changed the family name from Schwartz to Soros to protect the family from the threat of Nazi policies targeting Jews. After surviving the threat of Nazism, Soros' parents had to endure a Soviet-led communist takeover of Hungary. They eventually fled the country and united with George and his brother in America. While these experiences shaped Soros as an individual, he grew fond of the Open Society philosophy while studying at the London School of Economics. There, a scholar named Karl Popper would become Soros' mentor and influence his thinking of open societies. According to Kaufman's biography, Soros was born a Jew but only began to take an interest in religion when he was about 12 years old. He had a bar mitzvah a year later. Several of Soros' relatives became Christians, but as time wore on, Soros' own faith in a higher being faded. In a 60 Minutes interview, Soros admitted he was not religious and did not believe in God. I'll pause there and do the break because we believe in commercials, don't we? We believe in making cash. That's our God at QAM.
Absolutely.
12:27 at QAM. It's that time of the year again. A lot of pain in the ass people coming by to visit you. Relatives, family, friends, strangers, whoever. And they're going to mess up your carpets and your whole house. By the time they leave, you're going to wonder, what the hell do I do now? I'll tell you the smart thing to do. Call my good friends at Dry Concepts right after the first of the year and have them dry clean your carpets. That's right. Not dry clean your clothing, but the same idea. They dry clean your carpets. That sucks out the deep down dirt way in the fibers of your carpet. Makes them look brand new, stay cleaner longer, and last longer too. They dry in a couple of hours. They smell lemony fresh, and believe me when I tell you, they look just like brand new. I've been using Dry Concepts in my house for over 20 years. Trust me when I tell you. And if you call today, be sure and ask our friends at Dry Concepts to put you on their standby list, which could save you 15% extra off the already reasonable price of the job, which they do a phenomenal job every time at a guaranteed written price, which they give you that guarantee up front before they start doing the work. So when the holidays are over, when the smoke clears and the dust as well, have your carpets and everything in the house looking just like brand new with our good folks at Dry Concepts. Call them today, toll free, 1-800-248-5071. That's 1-800-248-5071, or check them on the wicked World Wide Web at dryconcepts.com.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
Alright. Banana picking Julios who thrive on anarchy are building an arena for the Miami Heat. Having two arenas somehow don't seem right. Better ask Jeff Owen for financial advice. NBA is locked down. There's no basketball. They're all on strike. Let's burn the place down. An insurance check would sure be nice. Before we lose our edge, take that can of gas. Oh! Light that match. Oh! Light that match. Lightning strikes again. All right. Lightning strikes
Sometimes the focus of good fire ain't all bad. 12:33 at 560 WQM. This is hysterical. This fax from Greg in Boca. It says, are you sure that Mark knows where he is? I drove around the Sears parking lot at Boca Town Center for 15 minutes. Couldn't find a QAM van. I think the only problem with this is now the Town Center Mall. Is that the same as the Boca Town Center? Oh, yeah, the Sears parking lot. It's got to be. There's only one Sears, huh? That's it. Maybe he pulled a Scott Jr. on us. Maybe he's lost. Have we heard from him again?
No.
There you go. So either one of two things. Either we gave up and he left because there was no action, or he's in Yenamsveld. Nice gone, Mark. Like I said, we don't know anything about Joe and Mark. We have no idea who they are. Getting back to my George Soros story. His feelings about Israel generally run counter to traditional Jewish thought. In his new book, The Bubble of American Supremacy, Soros takes a swipe at Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, whom he blames as much as Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat for the violence in the Middle East. Perpetrators are now in charge on both sides, Soros wrote, and he's right. At a Jewish Funders Network appearance in November, Soros' remarks on Israel and anti-Semitism drew an angry response from the Anti-Defamation League, but that controversy died down after critics looked at the full context of his comments, said Michael Vachon, Soros' aide. Louis Sheldon, obnoxious head of the Traditional Values Coalition, remained critical of his views on Israel. He said Bush's strong alliance with Israel could partly explain Soros' desire to see the president defeated next year. Vachon disagreed and noted that Soros is proud of his Jewish heritage. He said the attacks from conservatives are unwarranted, adding that Soros has done more good for people in the world than most critics realize. The notion that somehow George Soros is an immoral character is so preposterous, Vachon said, one doesn't even know how to begin to answer such a ludicrous charge. It's an outrageous claim when you look at the record of the man's life and what he's done. A former consultant to Soros Foundation, David Reif, said conservatives appear to be holding Soros to a double standard. Reif compared Soros to Richard Mellon Scaife, a wealthy conservative who's funded projects frequently criticized by liberals, and who's the man behind the scenes at the Fudge Report, by the way, also. He's putting his money where his mouth is, and as far as the conservative disquiet, Reif said, apparently they can dish it out, but they can't take it. Like good capitalists, they thought it was the right of rich people to fund the activities that they believed in. Americans needed to be fully informed about Soros, said Robert McGinnis, a former vice president of the Family Research Council of the ultra-right-wing Family Research Council, who researched Soros' philanthropy while working there. Soros has put his money where his beliefs are, and that's the American way, McGinnis said. They're radical in my estimation, but he certainly has made a valiant effort across the globe. U.S. citizens need to be wary of the fact that he is embracing a pro-drug, anti-life agenda. The Capital Research Center, which tracks philanthropists like Soros, found that the Open Society Institute has a pattern of giving to liberal groups that support drug legalization, euthanasia, immigrant entitlements, and feminism. There's a consistent thread through everything he does, said John Carlisle, editor of the center's organization Trends and Foundation Watch. He's a devout secular ideologue. Vashon acknowledged that Soros is a secularist. He also said the billionaire could handle the attacks from conservatives, but Vashon said Soros' concerns extend beyond Bush. He believes the concept of an open society in the U.S. is threatened. He's giving money to a group that wants to see the incumbent Republican president defeated in the next election, Vashon said. A lot of people are going to attack him. He's hardly surprised by it. You go, George. Nice going, baby. Oh! Good man. And he's also an out of the God bull crap. And he likes a little deli once in a while. He probably likes a good pastrami on rye, maybe some kishki, maybe some potato latkes at this time of the year, maybe even some Pesaviki candy. How come now what's the difference between kosher candy for Hanukkah and Pesaviki candy? There you go, for Passover. Don't know, do you?
It's all about the yeast.
No, seriously, there's no yeast in candy. What's the, well, now maybe you're right. Get out of here. There's no yeast like in hard candies. You almost had me suckered in there for a second. I don't know what that's all about. It's just another Jew thing. Bearded Sodom doll for sale barely 24 hours after capture. Got to get yours. In fact, maybe the Panthers want to get some people in that game tonight. I see it worked really good with that Rimmer Denise doll, that bobblehead doll. They allegedly had 15,000 plus for that Montreal game on a Saturday night when they were giving out the bobblehead dolls. Maybe you could answer me that question. Why is it that people who say that the tickets are too expensive or they don't have any interest or the team sucks, why is it when they give away those free bobblehead dolls that they have big crowds?
Because they're collector's items.
I see.
Especially those floppy hats for the Marlins games.
Gotta have yours. Anyway,
I got mine.
Americans can now buy a heavily bearded doll of the defeated dictator. The doll comes complete with a shaggy beard and an Ace of Spades t-shirt, a reference to the U.S. Most Wanted deck. The site admits at first you might not recognize this action figure. U.S. soldiers didn't recognize him either with his ratty hair and wild beard. The website also has an action figure of Saddam with a mustache, which can be fitted with S&M gear at no extra charge. The creator of the Saddam doll reportedly said it may have a voice of its own in the future. The doll cost, guess what?
About 30, man.
It can be purchased online at www.herobuilders.com. Going to get yours?
No.
Come on. HeroBuilders.com. Let me say it again, and don't interrupt. HeroBuilders.com. Not for you. Maybe we got some people out there with a sense of humor. It would make kind of a neat gift, huh? Anyway, Phil in Mudgate says, I was eating lunch today, almost puked while reading an article by the obnoxious right-wing scumbag Kathleen Parker on the opinion page of the Scum Sentinel. This asshole wrote how ungrateful Gore was to Jew Lieberman for his endorsement of Howard Dean, and added this bizarre paranoid delusion. A, to exact revenge on Clinton, as to why he did it. Exact revenge on Clinton. B, Gore loves Dean because Dean can get Gore a Supreme Court nomination or position in Dean's cabinet as a vice president. What? A position in Dean's cabinet as vice president. Right, he's going to be VP again, right. Gore is setting himself up for the 2008 presidential race. Or D, Lieberman was an upstanding moral man and an outspoken critic of Bill Clinton's marital vagrancies. She continues bellyaching about how Gore betrayed Jew Lieberman. I think Ms. Parker has been popping OxyContin with Rush, or maybe just sniffing Rush's ass. That would do it, Phil. That would do it, smelling that smelly old...
Rectum.
Man. Wonder why he lost all of that weight in his hearing went. Do you think we have any ideas about that? Rush? Al faxes and says, Israel is free to choose her course, but America needs a Middle East policy made in the USA, not in Tel Aviv or at AIPAC or AEI. President Bush should restate U.S. support for the survival of Israel, but also register America's disgust with Sharon's duplicitous policy of creeping annexationism. I like that. And repression while talking of peace. Do you ever hear that word before? Annexationism. Or maybe just annexation. Sharon should be told to vacate every settlement, an outpost put up since Bush took office, and tear down any part of his new wall that encroaches on the land of the coming nation of Palestine. Else, American aid stops. Yeah, I don't understand what they're waiting for on that. You like that $3 billion a year? Well, guess what? Cut the crap, okay? Cut the crap now or bye-bye. But instead, what do they get?
All the crap you can unwrap.
That's right. That's all we get. And some Pesaviki candy. Not even the right holiday. 20 till 1 at 560. Happy Chanukah from all your Glacier friends at WQM. Where only the hosts are Jewish, some of them. We have a couple of token goyim on the air. We got Joe Rose in there.
Jocks and Jews, man.
We got the Mad Dog. I beg your pardon?
Jocks and Jews.
Jocks and Jews. That's what Mad Dog always says. Jocks and Jews.
All right. And then there's the Big O.
Jocks, Jews, and token Spicks. Well, we got the Big O and Jorge. We try to pacify everybody. And, of course, we did have the Crow for a little while, but the Crow flew away. 19 till 1 at 560 WQAM. Hey, it's a great time of the year. Gift giving, family, all of these things, great food. But a lot of people hate the crowded malls, the long register lines, the traffic, the parking hassle. So this year, make your gift giving a little easier for you and the ones you love. A gift certificate from Dial a Mattress. Call them today, 1-800-MATTRESS, and give the gift they'll be thanking you for in and year out, and night in and night out. Dial a Mattress has got gift certificates in any denomination, Lutheran, Methodist, Presbyterian, Jews for Jesus, and a new bed for the master bedroom makes a perfect gift you'll both enjoy for years. And you wonder why Clarence Darrow is out today. Well, I'll tell you. Because he and the Beast have been enjoying that new King Coil mattress from Dial a Mattress so much the last couple of nights, absolutely plumb wore him out. That's what I heard. He called me yesterday afternoon and said, I just can't keep it up no more. I'm going to crawl under the bed and hide tonight. Dial a Mattress, no phony promises, no bait and switch, just discount prices every day, and the top brands in the world, including now Stearns and Foster Hewitt. Dial a Mattress has got the lowest prices in the world on Stearns and Bananas Foster. And when you call Dial a Mattress, 1-800-MATTRESS, you know how it works. You still pick the day and time for delivery any day, 7 days a week. When do you like them to show up? 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. You have a 2-hour window, and guess what? They'll be there. Honest sales practices, fantastic service, unbeatable, and everyday low prices, same-day delivery, free setup and removal, all of these things make it a piece of cake to see why Dial a Mattress is ranked the best in the world in customer satisfaction. For a service you only dream about. See, I'm getting tongue-tied because it's almost lunchtime. Do what I always do, and everybody else at QM is starting to do now. Call Dial a Mattress, the betting experts at 1-800-MATTRESS, 1-800-MATTRES, or online find them at mattress.com. Happy holidays from the good folks at Dial a Mattress.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Were you fudge packing?
Absolutely.
I got the squirt. Got the Atkins squirt. And it hurts as it shoots through me. And it burns from the paprika. And it feels like a trying to pass. And they lie when they said to me, you'll be alright on the Atkins diet if you only eat me. So I cheated, Ben and Jerry's. With charcoal pills and cottage cheese for regularity. The cheese bites. The cheese bites in me. And now I have a big red ring from the toilet seat.
Rectum.
I got the squirt. I can stop it. Squirt. And it hurts. When it squirts.
Better late than never. I should have played that last week after my grotesque experience with those Atkins bars. Man, don't do it again. Mike, one of our good faxers, says, I was wondering if you heard about the tragic death of Keith Magnuson. Yes, I did, Mike. Happened 2 days ago. Rob Ramage and Keith Magnuson were driving back to Toronto, and Rob had a little bit too much. He got into a horrendous wreck, and it's been a big story here. Keith Magnuson is dead, and Rob Ramage being charged with DUI. May go to jail for as long as life. Former Maple Leaf captain Rob Ramage, who was one of the last players, by the way, to play without a helmet. Did you know that? I bet you didn't.
I did.
You did?
Sure.
Who was the last player in the NHL to play without a helmet? I'll even give you his initials, CM. Craig
McTavish.
There you go. Very good. Let's hear it for the Beast. Oh! All right. Need a little help. And I'm sitting here.
Former Oiler, I believe.
Yes. I'm sitting here during the break, and I'm thinking about that story you told about Mo, and it's just slowly sinking in. See, this should give the audience a better perspective, a better understanding of the kind of creature. I would say person, but that would be like an insult to all persons. The kind of creature that we're dealing with, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because this is a cantankerous old man. When you think of the word cantankerous, you think immediately of Mo. Everybody who rubs him the wrong way, which of course is everybody in the world sooner or later. He's got a call, like Joe Rose, with that famous call. Or you.
He's called Hank.
The humper, yes, more than one occasion, the load. Never called me, though, and that's a good idea. Good thinking, Mo. Do not be calling me, ever.
You want me to give him your number?
Well, I'll tell you, no, do not, under penalty of death. You know what he would hear right away as soon as I recognize his voice? Yeah, no extra charge, fee dial tone, that's what he'd hear. I mean, the idea, and I'm trying to imagine in my mind the tone of the call. In other words, when it started, you answer your phone. This is on your cell phone?
Right, I was taking a nap one day.
Right.
And the phone rings, and I didn't recognize the number, so I figured I'd pick it up because who knows who it could be. And I hear him in his car, and he's telling me that I've single-handedly...
No, but wait a minute. How did the call start? What did he say? Did he sound hostile right off the bat?
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, he always sounds hostile.
Did he say, this is Mo?
No, he didn't use that term.
And
he continued to just say that I had single-handedly turned his audience on him, that when I'm out and about, when I'm at Canes games, I tell everyone that he's an asshole and that they shouldn't listen to him and they should call him up and call him an idiot and all this stuff, that all the bad nuggets that listen to his show and call in are all my fault.
Really?
Yeah.
So in other words, the idea that he's an asshole is something that you planted in everybody's mind.
Yes.
As opposed to everybody perceiving that from his behavior last year and a half at QAM. It's the beast fault.
Yeah.
And then I still say that deal where he tried actually after trying to get me canned and destroy my career and trying to get George canned and all the other crap that he pulled behind the scenes. To think that he was going to my new best friend on QAM, Neil Rogers, blah, blah, and because, you see, he couldn't take on me and Joe at the same time.
No.
But I will say, pound for pound now, he is doing a much bigger chore taking on me and the load, the toad and the load in the afternoon, taking us both on at the same time. So pound for pound, he's really bitten off probably more than he can chew, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Man. So, and of course, if we throw you into the mix, my God.
Wow.
He's got enough there to chew on for the next 100 years.
Yeah.
The old Mo Meister. We hate you, Mo, like poison. And you are an asshole, and everybody knows it, including all the people you worked for before you came to QM. Nice hire, Greg. Nice hire. Boy, this Greg Reed, what he's done to this station. People are on death row for less than what he's done to us. But we still keep plugging away. How's that poll coming? Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy? It's a good poll. Ain't it?
Yeah.
And if we get a couple of more votes, it'll be 500 on there. I want to click it. I want to refresh it. What do you got? What number you got on your thing?
I'm on 495.
Oh, I got 498, so I'm ahead of you. We need 2 more votes to get to 500. I will not read the result till we get to 500.
Now I got 499.
499? Also, I found out from the Beast before the show this morning that Robert Creeper still has his job because he's got naked pictures of Greg and Screwan. Let's see, 498. How come I got only 498? Let me refresh it one more time, and it better be over 500 right now. I'm going to be really pissed off. If it's not over 500 now, I'm going to play comedy bits between 1 and 2. Of course, even if it is.
Yeah.
What do we got? 499, right on the edge of it. Will you people get with it? Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy? Rush Limbaugh, illegal pill popper, is leading the way. He's, you can't catch him. 151. Racist Strom Thurmond has fathered illegitimate black daughter who was on TV today, and she said, my name is Elsie Mae, and have a nice day.
500.
We got to 500. 113 said Strom Thurmond, biggest hypocritical act. Oh, it's just... You can't even begin to think about it. It's so outrageous. It would be like David Duke. We find out that David Duke has got a black, Jewish, atheist, lesbian girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Oh! Coke booze hound George W. Bush lectures about morality, 96. Reverend Jesse Jackson fathers illegitimate child, 54. That love child. Jim Baker rips off his followers and turns out to be a pervert, 38. Jimmy Swaggart sins with hookers, 23. Philandering Representative Henry Hyde lectures Clinton on morality, 21. And the geezer is small potatoes. I guess Rimmer's voted 3 times now. Born-again John Van Beesbrook calls his goalie on a minor league hockey team he was coaching here in Canada a nigger. Only 3 people voted for that. And I still only got 499. What do you got?
501.
501. You're way ahead of me. FCC finds Ashcroft Senate bid for breach. I love it. Your Attorney General, your Nazi-in-Chief. The FEC has determined that Attorney General John Ashcroft's unsuccessful 2007 re-election campaign, you know when he ran against the dead guy? violated election laws by accepting $110,000 in illegal contributions from a committee Ashcroft had established to explore running for president. In documents released yesterday by the FEC, Garrett M. Lott, treasurer for two Ashcroft committees, the Spirit of America PAC and Ashcroft 2000, agreed to pay $37,000 fine for at least 4 violations of federal campaign law. Lott agreed not to contest the charges. How do you like that? The FEC vote to fine Ashcroft committee was 5-1, and the one dissenter sought harsher penalties and tougher findings. How do you like that? So nobody came to his defense, and the one guy who disagreed the 5-1 vote said, hey, guess what? That's not strong enough. Put his ass in jail. Fry his ass. Do something really grotesque. Pluck out his eyebrows. Take the schmata off the statue again and make his eyes pop when he sees them boobies, huh? I mean, stop and think about it, okay? Here's the Attorney General of the United States. Stop and think about the great cities of the world like Rome, Paris. Think of all the great artwork, all the great buildings with the naked statues, okay? Think about the ceiling at the Sistine Chapel in Michelangelo, all those paintings of all the naked people, okay, with body parts, no less. And here's the Attorney General, the Chief Justice official in the USA. What does he do? He has a naked bust of a woman covered up to cover up the boobies. Beautiful thing. Now, did we get a final report? Because I know it said he was going to be there at 1 o'clock. Mark Eisenberg, how's he doing?
Yeah, he got $100 and $100 worth of toys.
Well, that's not all so bad, considering the fact that he was lost. Get with it, Mark. Get a life.
Oh, this is Arnold. This is not a tumor. It's the 1 to 2 hour.
We've all heard of Rudolph and his shiny nose. And we all know Frosty, who's made out of snow.
Yes.
But all of those stories seem kind of gay, 'cause we all know who brightens up our holiday. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, small and brown, he comes from you. Sit on the toilet, here he comes, squeezing between your festive buns. A present from down below, spreading joy with a howdy ho. He's seen the love inside of you, 'cause he's a piece of poo. Sometimes he's nutty, sometimes he's corny, he can be brown or greenish brown. But if you eat fiber on Christmas Eve, he might come to your town. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, he loves me, I love you, therefore vicariously he loves you.
I can make him Mr. Hanky too. Well, Kyle, where is he? He's coming. Come on, dude, push. I'm trying. Oh, wait, I can see his head. Here he comes! I'm Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. Season's greetings, I love you. Let's sing songs and dance and play. Now before I melt away, here's a game I like to play. Stick me in your mouth and try to say, howdy ho ho, yum yum yum. Christmas time has come. Sometimes he's runny, sometimes he's firm, sometimes he's practically water.
Sometimes he hangs off the end of your ass and won't fall in the toilet, 'cause he's just clinging to your sphincter, and he won't drop up, and so you shake your ass around, try to get it to drop in the toilet, and finally it does. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, when Christmas leaves, he must leave too. Flush him down, but he's never gone. His smell and his spirit linger on.
All right. This Xmas, you don't want to offend anybody on your holiday gift list. Give them the new politically correct non-denominational holiday record.
We wish you a merry non-denominational celebration. We wish you a merry non-denominational celebration. We wish you a merry non-denominational celebration and a happy change of the calendar.
Who could possibly take issue with songs like these?
Dreaming of a white 25th of December.
Yes, we've taken the you-know-who out of Christmas.
Green ceremonial bush, oh, green ceremonial bush.
Make everybody happy. Get your copy of the non-denominational holiday record today.
And have a happy fill in the blank.
Well, there's Gephardt and Kerry, Edwards and Lieberman, Wesley Clark and Kucinich, Carol Brown and Sharpton. But the leader, it seems, the one guy that's ahead of their team. Dean is the Democrats' front runner, loves to have George Bush to bash. And if you haven't noticed, Howard Dean raised lots of cash. Just 'cause he is a doctor and carries a stethoscope, he won't be like the other Democrat that like to grope. Everything was going well till Wesley came to say, Dean, you may be winning though. I was commander of NATO. He brought up same-sex marriage as Vermont's governor. Howard, you have made mistakes, but you're still the front runner.
Just in time for the holidays, the most unusual Christmas album ever. Oprah Winfrey burps the Christmas classics. Listen to Oprah pass gas at Christmas Mass. Oprah Winfrey burps the Christmas classics. Available in the freezer section at Ralph's.
Grandma got run over at the Walmart. Trampled under shoppers' greedy feet.
Get out of my way, you pervert.
It was on the day after Thanksgiving. Poor Grandma didn't know she'd be dead meat.
Every year we yell, we threaten.
All she wanted was a player.
Well, congratulations. You ruined Christmas.
For the DVD she owned.
Merry Christmas. Kiss my ass.
But when those fateful doors swung open.
Welcome to Walmart.
She was stepped on and banged up straight to the bone. Grandma's now quite out of action. In a hospital she sits. Half her body is in traction, and she even needs a nurse to take a Grandma got run over at the Walmart.
Ain't it awful?
Trampled under shoppers' greedy feet. It was on the day after Thanksgiving.
No!
Poor Grandma didn't know she'd be dead meat.
You're despicable.
Grandma got run over at the Walmart. Trampled under shoppers' greedy feet. It was on the day after Thanksgiving. Poor Grandma didn't know she'd be dead meat.
Hello, operator. Give me the number for 911. Merry Christmas, everybody. Watch your ass.
Oh!
Basic things, the wife is missing. Didn't ask for her permission. I'm wearing her clothes, her silk pantyhose, walking around in women's underwear.
Alright!
In the store, there's a teddy with little straps like spaghetti. It holds me so tight, like handcuffs at night, walking around in women's underwear.
In the office there's a guy named Melvin. He pretends that I am Murphy Brown.
He'll say, are you ready? We'll say, whoa, man. Let's wait until the wife is out of town. Later on, if you wanna, we can dress like Madonna.
Yes.
Put on some high shade and join the parade. Walking around in women's underwear. Basic things, missing. Didn't ask permission. Wearing her clothes, silk pantyhose. Walking around in women's underwear. Walking around in women's underwear. Walking around in women's underwear.
Hey, where's Rudolph? I can't find Rudolph.
Uh-oh. Shove it, fat boy.
Who let the reindeer out? Who let the reindeer out?
Hey, what's that all over the sleigh? It smells terrible. I don't know. It tastes bad, too. Oh, no. Oh, no. The reindeer got out, and they got diarrhea.
Who let the reindeer out? Who let the reindeer out? Who let the reindeer out? Who let the reindeer out?
Hey, what's that up in the sky? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a reindeer. And they still got diarrhea. Close your mouth. Close your mouth.
Who let the reindeer out? Who let the reindeer out? Who let the reindeer out? Who let the reindeer
There's no trees or lights for Hanukkah. Go down the block, the houses are darker. We are wishing we were Christian on Christmas morn. There's nothing for our children. For 8 nights we light lights. When does Santa become anti-Semite?
All we get to light is a menorah. They don't mention Christmas in the Torah. Our holiday is really such a bore. Like the menorah. Oi! All we get to light is a menorah. They don't mention Christmas in the Torah. Our holiday is really such a bore. Like the menorah. Oi!
It's so hard for us to go shopping. We don't know when Hanukkah is happening. What is the date? Are we too late? You can almost hear them go. Now, come on. What are we supposed to do? So you think it's easy to get gifts when we only pay wholesale?
All we get to light is a menorah. They don't mention Christmas in the Torah. Our holiday is really such a bore. Light the menorah. Oi! All we get to light is a menorah. They don't mention Christmas in the Torah. Our holiday is really such a bore. Light the menorah. Oi!
11 after 1 at 560 WQM. Here's a note. Josh is getting sick and tired of answering the bat line and finding Scott Jr. getting more personal calls again. Cut it out, Scott. Make it effing stop is the message I got here. Make it effing stop, okay? You idiot. God, is he a moron. I don't want to, dwell on that most story you keep telling, but see, obviously, what we all would like to hear is, what was your response? He calls you up, wakes you out of a nice nap, bitches you out for turning everybody against him, calling him an asshole, and what's your response? You've already been canned off the show, right?
Right, yeah.
So what do you say?
He asked me, he's point blank, he's like, did you do this? Are you telling people not to call my show or to call me and make fun of me? And I said, whatever, Howard, and I gotta go back to bed or something.
And that was it?
I just blew him off, yeah.
Well, that's excellent.
All right.
I love it. In other words, you didn't wimp out.
If this is the
image, if this is the real
in my life, by the way.
Yeah, like an overgrown child.
Like I have the power to tell people where and who to listen to and what to listen to and.
Well, it certainly couldn't have been his fault.
Absolutely.
That everybody thought he was an asshole.
No.
And if it wasn't my fault or George's fault or maybe Geldy's fault or Joe Rose's fault or the Load or the Mad Dog, it had to be you.
Absolutely.
I think you've done it.
I'm just unprofessional.
And if you didn't do it, just get on it. 113 at 560 WQM. Have you ever tasted one of those meal replacements? Most of them taste like those reindeer left on a sleigh. Check out how much sugar they got also, man. Not good for you. Now there's a great tasting product. In fact, the Beast likes it for 2 reasons. Number one, it tastes really good, and plus he's got a whole bunch of it free there, too.
Yo, you got it.
There's a product that tastes great. It's sugar-free. It's Enterex Diabetic. In fact, you can get some free, too. I'll tell you in a second how. Enterex Diabetic is the best-tasting meal replacement drink ever made for people with diabetes and people desiring a reduced sugar intake. Sweetened with Splenda brand sucralose, so there's no nasty aftertaste like you get with the drinks that use saccharin and aspartame. Enterex Diabetic is a complete balanced nutritional supplement that provides fiber, antioxidants. It's low in saturated fat and cholesterol, good with the heavy with the good stuff and none of the bad stuff. Enterex Diabetic is also gluten and lactose free too. An 8-ounce can provides 237 calories of deliciously healthy nutrition that's internationally recommended by doctors and dietitians alike. So don't sacrifice proper nutrition when you're short on time. Try Enterex Diabetic once and you'll never go back to that other crap you used to drink before. And the makers of Enterex Diabetic are so positively sure you're going to love it, they're giving away free samples. That's what South Florida loves. They live for free, just for the asking. Go to EnterexDiabetic.com, ENTEREX, all one word, EnterexDiabetic.com, or call this toll-free number and be sure and tell them that Neil sent you for a delicious one. Call 1-866-368-3739 for your free sample. That's 1-866-368-3739.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Can't believe the language I hear on TV. Every other word is an obscenity. It used to be the cable was a whole lot worse, but now the networks let their actors curse. There's no end in sight to this insanity. All the dialogue contains profanity. Swearing like a sailor on a 3-day pass. Words a whole lot worse than ass. F-bomb, F-bomb, how long will it be before they drop the F-bomb on network TV? F-bomb, F-bomb, there's no telling when they'll drop one on the UPN.
I can't believe I'm the winner. I am the winner. Well, it wasn't even close. I terminated poor old Great Davis. The people didn't seem to care. I grabbed the boobies. I'm the little miss. California has spoken. I'm the winner. Lots of women said I fondled them. In all, it was like 33. But I don't care, and the voters don't care, because now I'm the new governor of the California GOP. Well, I used all of my muscle, and I used all of my sex appeal. I'm very hot. I guess the voters didn't care that I made all those big mouth hoochies squeal. Well, if you're honest with the public and you tell them you had a fondle spree, trust me, they'll forgive you like they did me and elect you to the GOP. Here's a key change in the song. Bustamante, little fat man, Super Mario brother, never had a prayer. Terrible. The voters thought about him naked in his little Pac-Man underwear. With his little teeny tiny holes. I'm the victor, I'm the winner, and my hot wife is a Kennedy. And now I'm the new governor of the California GOP.
It's the wonderful world of science with Professor Mo.
Well, hello there, boys and girls. Today, we're going to learn about an invisible substance, and it ain't got nothing to do with fluids and juices, so you don't have to worry about it. As a matter of fact, it's a night. That's right, boys and girls. It's a noble gas. named for Ray Noble and his orchestra. Now, to demonstrate our...
Hiya, Mo.
Why, Geldy, what a surprise. Pray tell, what brings you here?
I want to learn about gas.
It's a noble gas, you moron. Now, here, hold this tube. Not the one in my pants. Now, look at what you got, Henderson.
Sorry.
You ruined my whole day. Why, I ought to...
Listen,
What?
that sound.
Oh, yeah. That's noble gas. Now, get out of here, you little fisher, before
Wait a minute, Mo, I got something for you.
What do you got there?
A bag of potatoes.
Potatoes? For what?
You can make a battery out of a potato.
A battery out of a potato, huh?
Yeah. Now pull down your checkered pants.
Ah, no, you don't. What do you think? I'm some kind of maroon?
Come on, Mo, you need a conductor.
All right. There. Now, what are you... Boy,
Not working yet.
how'd that make it work? I put it up my ass?
Up the butt. Up the butt. Up the butt. Up the butt.
Today's fast-paced world holds its share of headaches.
Hey, there's a thumbprint on this report. Do it again.
Yes, sir.
Got a problem?
No, sir.
Under some pressure, huh?
Yeah, it feels like my head's gonna explode, and aspirin doesn't do anything.
Well, here, take some ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen? Well, I'll try anything. That dirty, rotten son of a... Who the f*** does he think he's talking to? I ought to make that little do his own report. Woo!
Feel better?
Yeah, what's in ibuprofen?
Well, nothing we can admit to on the radio except our secret ingredient, Screw 'em All, which eliminates any inhibitions you might have about saying what's on your mind. Hey, here comes your boss.
Look, I want this report done, even if you have to work through your lunch hour, okay?
Listen, numbnuts, when are you going to get off your and do some work around here?
Well, I see you take ibuprofen.
Yeah.
I take it too, you lazy piece of
Oh,
Now
listen.
get over the copter.
Ibuprofen. Use only as directed.
Finally, a music company is putting something besides beautiful music in the air. Bartland Music presents Classic Cuts, featuring gut-wrenching tunes like Feelings. Classic Cuts from Fartland Music gives you an extraordinary collection of haunting melodies that hang in the air long after the tune is played. No other collection can hold a match to this version of Memories. Classic Cuts from Fartland Music is the record offer you just knew had to come out, sooner or later, especially when you hear your CD player expel Unchained Melody. Classic Cuts from Fartland Music. When you hear it, you know there's nothing to do but crack a window and share the experience with others. Order today.
125, 560 WQM. Hey, we got some bad news for the Dolphins. Did we already have this on the air about Rob Conrad?
Yeah, I had that this morning.
You had that this morning on your headlines?
Yeah, I did.
Well, we ought to say it again.
Oh, his concussion, he won't play this week, or probably won't play against the Jets.
And also
either.
probably will miss the finale against the Jets. And he'll be replaced on second start for, I just wanted to say this, Obafemi Ayanbadejo.
Obafemi Ayanbadejo.
Femi?
Obafemi.
Oh, you can't have a guy playing football in the NFL named Femi.
Yeah,
Isn't that a little bit too fem?
1 in every 10, isn't it?
Don't be too Femi. I don't know. I could give you some names. Call Jeff Cohen at the Pizza Loft. He'll give you a whole bunch of names. Anyway, here's some big news. Hallett Pontiac GMC is now Auto City Pontiac GMC at Pinecrest, but the same great Neil deals that you always had before and the same great customer satisfaction you're accustomed to at Hallett. Right now at Auto City of Pinecrest, it's the end of the year clearance sale on all remaining 2003s in stock. Take advantage of 0% financing, say it right, 0% financing for up to 72 months, or save up to $9,000 with rebates and incentives too. Attention lease customers, ask Auto City of Pinecrest about their lease pull-ahead early termination program. There's even more great Neil deals at the new Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest. For a limited time, just sign and drive home your new GMC Sierra with absolutely no money down. That's right. It's the brand new Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest, and you'll find it at 13401 South Dixie Highway, that's US 1, right across from the prestigious Falls, open every day, 7 days a week. For more info on those great Neil deals, call the Neil Deal hotline, toll-free, 1-888-534-4211. That's 1-888-534-4211. Don't forget, all these Special deals are subject to credit approval. See the folks at Auto City Pontiac for all the details. That's the brand new Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest, where you'll find low prices and no high pressure.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Nobody move. I be a football player. Don't you make a sound. I just gonna rape your wife and leave quietly.
Don't let this happen to you. Today's National Football League crackhead athletes are above the law. Protect your family from the horrors of unwanted NFL players in your home with the new Miami Dolphin Home Alarm System. Every Miami Dolphin home alarm system comes with the Jimmy Johnson seal of disapproval.
I never met a criminal I didn't like. And if they can catch the ball or run with the ball, why, they're something special.
Take criminal athletes off the field and put them in a jail cell where they usually find God and a wife named Tyrone. The Miami Dolphin home alarm system. See your local crack dealer for details.
Martha Stewart's our guest.
Yes.
Good to see you. Let's get right to the things that have been the most talked about of recent date, and that's crisis. You have had a financial problem.
You know, Larry, I'm not making so much money these days.
We are told that you're part of the financial problem.
Oh, definitely, yes. And I think
Explain that.
I sort of have an inside track, you know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
A lie, distortion of the truth. Somewhere in the vicinity of $700 billion. Did you know it was that much?
No idea. 700 billion?
Billion, yes.
You're kidding.
Timing is everything. You know what they say?
Yeah, bitch.
Shame on you.
Martha Stewart, fraud.
That's true.
She's falling apart.
Bankruptcy, actually.
On this edition of Larry King Live, don't go away.
Michael Eisner.
2 rings, Eisner. It took you 2 rings to answer. What are you doing over there?
I'm sorry, sir. I just couldn't reach the phone quickly
I couldn't reach the phone. 1 ring, Eisner. We've been over this.
I'm sorry, sir.
Get on the ball over there.
Okay.
What are you all hung over out with your mighty dicks?
Who, sir?
The hockey kids.
Oh, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Oh, what a successful story that's been.
Whatever. Sell it.
Sell it? What?
Sell that team. They're terrible.
Sir, they're in the Stanley Cup Finals.
What does that mean?
Well, they're in the championship of the national...
Save it. I'm not in the sports anyway. I'm more of a porn mouse.
Porn mouse?
Forget about the Ducks. It's a stupid name anyway. Who came up with it?
Well, I did, sir. Remember we had that movie?
It's terrible. And I see you hanging out with that straight brim on your hat. You look like a moron next to Charlie Sheen.
No. That was Emilio Estevez, the star of the Mighty Ducks.
Same kid. It's the same kid. Terrible.
The Mighty Ducks, I mean, they really are entertaining. It's a great family value.
I don't care about the dick.
What?
Hang on a minute.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God. What the hell is wrong with you, Remus?
I'm not feeling well, boss.
Oh, you're almost white.
Yeah, I'm pale, boss. Oh, had some bad Chinese.
Some bad Chinese?
Yeah, met her downtown, boss. Ling.
Ling's a panda.
Whatever, boss. I's got to go.
Oh, get away from me. You stink like a brewery. My good God. Come on, Eisner.
Yes, sir. Well, things are going very well over here. You know, we have the Mighty Ducks in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Terrible. Sell them.
And we also have the Finding Nemo movie, which is doing very well.
Finding Nemo. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Why do I have a check for $4 million on my desk and the thing made $70 million? What kind of deal do we have with Pixar?
Well, we sort of...
Remus!
Oh, I'm not...
Did you do it?
I think I pooped myself, boss.
You pooped yourself? Remus! Get out of the office, will you?
My, oh, my.
My, oh, my is right.
Horrible day.
Oh, I need a stick up in here. Eisner?
Yes, sir?
Repeat after me. I am an idiot.
An idiot.
Goodbye, Eisner.
Okay, well, sir, would you like tickets for the Mighty Ducks?
I told you to sell the dicks.
Ducks?
Change the name of that thing anyway.
Change the name?
Yeah, if we gotta keep it, make it the Mises.
The Mises? What are Mises?
Mises, more than one mouse.
Isn't that just mice? Are you correcting me?
No, sir.
Let us get out of here, you stink!
I can't even walk, boss.
Jumped in the taxi cab. I said, driver, Central Park. He looked at me so quizzically, I could tell he was in the dark. So I acted out my park charade, and with my arms the trees I made. Nobody speaks English anymore. I went down to Miami Beach where the weather is nice and sunny. I walked into a liquor store, but the guy there talks real funny. I asked him for a pint of old Jim Beam. He says, no entiendo. What does that mean? Nobody speaks English anymore. At the corner deli. Hell, I think I'm in Pakistan. Speak English, smelly. Or you can go back to Iraq. I came here many years ago. Learned my ABCs. I don't say muchas gracias. I say pretty please. So get yourself to a classroom quick. You're in America now. Stop making me sick. Nobody speaks English anymore.
By the way, son, I've been giving it some thought, see? Well, what do you think of this? I knows that me and you can do much better going 6 to 10 and not at 5, a Gentile and a cranky Jew. I think we might be happy together.
I think you really gone out of your mind. You gotta have your wee-wee bag strapped on too tight. No chance I'll do a show with you. I'd rather die. We'd be crappy together.
Why, I'll have you know that I'm a big mocking Jew from Brooklyn Heights. I've been raped by everybody but you. You're not my type.
Me and Mo, that would blow. No way that if we had a fight that you'd survive. Who'd want to hear a genitile and pushy guy? That's scrappy together.
A show with you and me, for me, is much better 6 than 10, not 5. It's only right that I should get more sleep at night. I think we might be happy together. Happy together.
Would you see me better?
All the crap you can unwrap, all the slime, all the time.
Thanks, Mo. 20 till 2 at QM. But we got 600 yet or what? Or $5.99? What do you got? I got $5.99 on mine.
I'm reloading.
Are you reloading it?
Yeah.
Squirt, squirt.
Probably shooting blanks. Which of these was the greatest act of hypocrisy of all? Rush Limbaugh, illegal pill popper, 178. Racist Strom Thurmond fathered illegitimate black daughter, 146. Coke and booze hound George W. Bush lectures about morality, 105. Reverend Jesse Jackson fathers illegitimate child, 87.
600.
67. We got 600, all right.
Oh!
Jim Baker rips off his followers, turns out to be a pervert, 45. Jimmy Swaggart sins with hookers, 29. Philandering Representative Henry Hyde lectures Clinton on morality, 26. And born-again John Van Beesbrook, the Beezer, calls his goalie a nigger, 3. So Rimmer voted 3 times. Let me tell you about something that I vote for all the time, and that's Brandy Shoes in Pompano Beach. A lot of people have been voting for them for a long time, and that's why they've been around for 25 years, nearly a quarter of a century. In fact, over a quarter of a century now. So they got to be doing a lot of things right, like giving you the top brand names in a business, like Rockports, Echoes, Mephistos, Timberland, Clark's, SAS, Florsheim, all the other top names in the shoe business. And of course, having all the sizes you need, men's 6 to 15, women's 5 to 12, widths from the very petite and narrow to the very, very big fat and wide. And of course, prices that are unbeatable and friendly personal service to make sure you get a perfect fit every time. You put all of these things together, and what's not to like? Brandy Shoes, that's why they've been around so long. They're at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach, open daily, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 9, Sundays 10 till 5. And during Brandy's 25th anniversary, even more special savings, like right now is a great time to buy Florsheim. All this week, save 25% off on all men's Florsheim styles at Brandy Shoes. So be sure to stop in or check them out on the web at brandysshoes.com.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Esta es la estación número 1 aquí en Miami. Es mi favorita. XMK WQAM. Olé!
Good morning. This is former Vice President and inventor of the Internet, Al Gore. I'm here to set the record straight about my endorsement of Democratic presidential candidate Jane Steen.
It's Howard.
Baba Bowie.
Bowie.
Mr. Dean is an amazing orator and wordsmith. Not to mention, he makes a fine sausage.
That's not him.
A former governor of Vermont and winner of the prestigious maple syrup guzzling contest.
Never happened.
Apparently, I have ruffled some feathers in the Democratic Party, specifically with my former running mate, Hal Lieberstein.
It's Joe Lieberman.
If there's one man in the donkey party that's even more whiny and monotone than me, it's Jim Leibowitz.
Joe Lieberman.
When I pulled this endorsement from my secret lockbox, I did so after much consideration, thought, and a game of rock, paper, scissors. If Mr.
Lieberman
is hurt, then I am sorry. But Josh Landenberg
Lieberman
must realize I'm a sharp political mind whose choices to shape our nation's leaders are important.
You've lost me.
In conclusion, let me say this to Mr. Lenowitz.
Lieberman.
And Mr. Bean.
Dean.
I love you both, like a gay man would, but without the rumpular invasion.
I think we're done here.
Al Gore's views are his own and have no affiliation with the Democratic National Committee to elect the president.
This is where I work. There is never a dull moment at Walmart.
I love working at Walmart.
We stay at Walmart way after our shifts are over, partly because we love it, but mostly because they lock us in.
It's more than a store. It's a fun place to visit.
The best thing about being on the Walmart team is not having all those forms and papers that workers with health benefits have to worry about.
You never know what you're going to find at Walmart.
We just come in for the fun of it.
The immigrants are the best at Walmart. They clean our toilets practically for free.
At Walmart, I don't need no stinking green card.
We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
It's like my morning routine. Drink coffee and wake up at Walmart.
How are you? Hey, nice to see you there. Ow. Oh, you're looking fine. I'll tell you what, you may see a major upset in the nominees for president. So, very quietly, I'll work to guarantee the
what I've seen. The choices are obscene. It's either whiny Lieberman or Howard Dean. Kerry Clark and all the rest can't get elected. Slap a button on hell's chest. Please get the witch to run so I can have some fun. Wow. Me in Chappaqua and her in Washington. I'll hold a wet T-shirt contest in my yard. And all day long I'll walk around semi-hard. It'd be a dream come true. It'd be a major coup. If old Slick Willie were to pull the switcheroo, have a heart, elect my spouse. Some begging and pleading, put Big Mouth in the White House. Like you.
Chelsea Victoria Clinton arrived 3 weeks early on February 27, 1980, at 11:24 p.m. While I was recovering, Bill would put his foot on my throat, yank me by my hair, and say, "Woman, don't spoil her." I said, okay. Chelsea was sold by her opium-addicted father when she was 8 years old. Chelsea looked at him and said bad things about her daddy. That sealed the decision for Bill. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But even more frightening, at the age of 15, Chelsea had come back to haunt us. She escaped and returned home, only to be sold again to a whorehouse. Who would want to do that to kids who had never done anything to them? Me, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Chelsea said, "Come on, Mom, don't do it." "Oh, yeah, right," I said. Looking like a dazed boxer who had just been pummeled in the ring, she leaned toward me and whispered in my ear, "You bitch."
151 at 560 WQM. Happy holidays from all your good paisans. We got a big holiday surprise, the Boogster. He used to be a monster, but now he's just a shadow of his former self. Boogster for the Mad Dog from Shula Steak 2 at 2. You got the Humper, a.k.a. the Tub, at in the studios at 4 with Ira Winderman 5 to 6. Then we got the Panthers and the Capitals tonight. Any interest?
No.
Let me tell you about a great place, EF Tarrant Auto Repair. You'll find them at 5083 North Federal Highway, just a mile and a half north of Sample Road in prestigious Pompano Beach. At EF Tarrant Auto Repair, experience the difference that experience makes too. All EF mechanics are ASE certified technicians, current with all the latest technology, and must have been with the EF team for nearly 20 years. The EF team has got over 200 combined years of experience. And right now at EF, if you need an oil change, stop by EF and ask them about their Neil Rogers $12.95 oil change special. You heard right, only $12.95 for an oil change. The EF team uses only the best parts, top-of-the-line Castrol GTX motor oil. You couldn't even buy the parts for this amazingly unbeatable low price, just $12.95. EF Tarrant Auto Repair, they're at 5083 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Call them at 954-426-9926. That's 954-426-9926. And when you do make that call, ask them about their 90 days, same as cash, no interest credit card. EF Tarrant Auto Repair, they're nationally recognized as one of the most successful automotive repair facilities anywhere in the entire U.S. of A. And don't forget to ask them about their $12.95 Neil Rogers oil change special at EF. Call 954-426-9926.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
Move over, will you, please?
Just play the guitar like you look at me.
I'm playing the guitar.
Don't look at me.
Shut up a minute. I gotta sing. Don't bother me.
Go ahead and sing.
What? Every time I look at art, I think Albert Einstein.
Well, that's nice.
Or maybe Larry Fine or Sick Porcupine. Do you like that?
Every time I look at Paul when he starts singing flat.
Yeah, you're thinking he's a beautiful man, right?
I want to beat him with that dumb baseball hat. But here we are, back on stage again, pretending that we are still old friends. Wearing Depends. We're selling out every concert hall. Let's just hope that we don't take a fall.
Be careful.
One little slip, you know what'll happen, could break a hip.
Just get out of the way and let me sing. I can't hear my guitar.
Don't look at me.
Stop it! Every time I look at up, my blood just starts to boil. There's all arms and legs, just like Olive Oil. Take it, big boy.
Every time I look at Paul, I see an understand.
What? What are you going to say?
Without me, he does projects like the Cape Man. But here we are on the road again. After every show, night after night. Sick of you! Another fight. Fight me! We're making cash, but it's not much fun. Like to shoot each other with a gun.
You probably wouldn't even die.
We swear and curse.
You would.
But it could be worse. I can't stand you in a woman! Get away from me! Get away from me! I still think we can get up!
The Middle Eastern world will be exploded. Saddam had people killed with the gas that we sold him. First time aggressor nation and the only one that's going. Now more blood will be spilled to get that oil flowing. Forget about Korea and the nukes they're toting. And the right wing is drilling it over and over into our heads that Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. 3,000 people killed are not forgotten. Let's exploit them instead. Hey, there's oil to be gotten. Going after Saddam too. Placate Osama. There's no longer mention of the name Bin Laden. But no one seems concerned, all comfy and complacent, believing every word of this cartel administration that controls us by fear through media manipulation. And the right wing is drilling it over and over into our heads that Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. The loss of civil rights is the price that we're paying. We're all suspects now, Nazi Ashcroft is saying. I have nothing to hide, table talkers all are saying. Blind obedient cattle don't have any reservation. Bout unprovoked battle and world annihilation. Old regimes must fall and Halliburton installed with no objection at all. Democrats don't have the balls and the right wing is drilling it over and over into our brainwashed heads. Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. Only Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction.
Bye, bye, bye! The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
I got nothing against niggers. Daddy was a nigger.